way they have suffered for years and years and years, I want Raiola out there day one, because your hope is you get 3 incredible years from him, and then he goes on to the NFL.
The transfer quarterback carousel continues at Kentucky. It's going to be Brock Vandegrift after you've had Will Levis, Devin Leary, and now Brock Vandegrift. I don't know what you expect out of Vandegrift.
I've never really seen him. A little mop-up duty for Georgia, but I think the number I heard was $600,000 to $700,000. They paid him an NIL to come over.
Well, they must like him.
Sight unseen.
Yeah.
But I guess that's today what the market kind of demands. I really don't know what to expect.
I mean, I don't expect anything out of that offense.
Yeah, I mean, Will Levis should have been better at Kentucky. Yeah. Devin Leary should have been better at Kentucky.
Yes, all the above. This feels like Mack Brown's final season in Chapel Hill. He'll be 73 when the season kicks off, as Brad points out. Quarterback situation iffy following a guy that went in the top 4 in the draft. I mean, I could see this. I don't think it's any shock if Mack Brown retires at the end of the year.
I think I said this 2 years ago.
No, I think
and last year.
Yeah,
I'll go with Mack Brown retires this year.
If you're looking for another underdog or a team that's off the radar, he makes a case for this team. A plethora of returning starters, a quarterback primed to take college football by storm, a coach that wears emotions on his sleeve. If you are a fan of West Virginia, this should excite you about this season. Opening weekend, they play Penn State.
I'd love to see Neil Brown pull that one off.
Yeah, I don't even know. I've seen a number on it. I can't remember what the number is.
I think, where is that game?
I think it is in State College. Let me double check on that, though. Because that is a determining factor, no doubt.
Yeah, if it is, they're probably 7.5 to 9 point favorite. Penn State would be, but if it was in Morgantown, Penn State's probably only 4.5.
Yeah, let me correct myself. It is in Morgantown. Yeah,
Penn State's probably only 4.5 point favorite.
They open with Penn State at home, Albany at home, at Pitt, and Kansas at home.
Look, after really middling years, the first 4 years at West Virginia, Neil Brown was on a major hot seat going into last year, and for him to be able to pull off 9 wins with that roster was impressive.
Yeah. So he is a guy that, if he could get those wins. Now, look, that schedule doesn't let up. Even after the bye, they got Oak State, Iowa State, Kansas State, and Arizona. That's a tough stretch of football right there. So he's got to survive. After he gets past the second bye week, though, it opens up a little bit for him. So, I don't know, interesting team in West Virginia. Penn State game's what starts it all for them. All right, that's going to do it for us on the show today. Dunaway scheduled back with us tomorrow. We appreciate you joining us on the next round. We'll do it all over again tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. We'll see you then. Have a great afternoon.
Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the next round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping on some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And in our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, LT takes off the gloves for in-depth conversations with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmont Vodka. Find these podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with the TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backroom's go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at the Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Done Away is standing by ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Back from a couple of days off. I'm excited to be here. Hope you guys are too. A live show now on a Tuesday. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Rockstar Forrester, Tyler Lunsford, Taylor Corns in Europe, Emily Grace McWhorter handling everything social media, and she'll be over with the Knicks Kids event a little bit later on this morning. Reed and Kelsey and everyone else, glad you're here. Thumbs up, like, and subscribe. 94 days away from college football. A lot to get to. We've got the NBA conference finals. We've got the SEC baseball tournament in town. A lot of college football news that we'll get to. And the little tiny house known as Graceland up for sale. A little controversy.
I saw that. Yeah.
It's on the market?
Yeah.
It is.
You said it wouldn't get $300,000 on 280.
If it was in Greystone, would not get $300,000.
Yeah, that's what you said.
I wonder, though, with the property, you've been, Brown, I don't think you've ever
I've never been. I haven't even seen it, honestly, except for photos.
I mean, it's in a weird part of town in Memphis, but it's got, the gates around that property. It seems like there's some pretty good acreage there.
Yeah, they should build a new stadium on that property.
I am going to say that they end up getting $15+ million for that.
It'll be interesting. It's being foreclosed according.
Is it all Priscilla? Because after Lisa Marie passed, who is she the sole heir?
It's Elvis's granddaughter, and she's trying to halt the foreclosure sale because she is saying the company that is foreclosing and selling it is a scam, not a real company.
Well,
I think there's an easy way to debunk that, right?
I've got a couple. Well, there are a lot of questions here. Do you want to save this for later, or are we going to talk about it now?
Save it for later because I have very few details right now other than a really good headline.
Yeah, I've got a lot of questions. Primarily, I guess my biggest question is how do they still have a mortgage on that joint? I mean, how old is Graceland?
Right.
Yeah.
You would think that Elvis is the kind of guy that pays cash.
Well, I would think so. And they've made a lot of money over the years. You think the first thing we do is we make sure Graceland is paid for, right? That's our tourist trap.
And $50 a head or whatever I paid to tour through that place.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. It should be printing money.
That's your money maker. You make sure you've paid the mortgage on that.
I want to start, though.
By the way, I would go back. I know you never would.
I would never go back.
Yeah. I haven't been in 15 years, but I would definitely go back.
I was
amazed at how powerful that guy was.
I couldn't make it. Here it is. The Graceland. Is that from when I was there? It looks like I took that picture. No, it's not.
I do agree. The house
it does look like you took it.
is
It's framed up
somewhat,
well.
the curbside appeal is probably not what it was back in the 60s.
Well, when that was built, though,
But I think I told you guys this story. There's so many different, and Brown, obviously you haven't been, but he's got a garage there, and his car collection is pretty amazing. But what really blew my mind was how big Sinatra was back in the late 60s and 70s. Well, he rolls into a custom dealership in Las Vegas, and he's like, I want that car. And they're like, well, it's Frank Sinatra's. And he's like, I want it. They ended up selling it to him after Sinatra custom bought this thing.
That is bold.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of power right there because Sinatra.
I mean, that is a baller move.
Sinatra, A, was a big name, and B, had
In
mafia
Vegas.
ties.
Yeah. But Elvis was that much bigger.
I was bored and ready to be out of the house before he made it through the kitchen. I was like, get me out of this place.
Galley kitchen for Elvis?
Hopefully everybody had their, because you've got a tour guide or you can put the headphones on.
Yeah.
Hopefully nobody could hear you complain. Hopefully everybody was wearing the headphones.
No microwave?
Oh, another room. We got to see another room. More details on that coming up. Can I just start, though, with an NIL news? John Talty did a story, CBSSports.com. John, who used to work here in town, AL.com. Going prices on the NIL market in Power 4 conferences for each position. In the NFL, what are the money positions?
Quarterback,
cornerback, tackle, and edge rusher.
That's right.
Okay.
And receivers becoming that.
Receivers becoming that, but that's been the four traditional ones.
Quarterback. Now, he's got this for the quarterback position, average going rate for a Power 4 quarterback, including Cade Klubnik, or high end, right? High end at the end.
So you're right now a franchise quarterback would make over $50 million per season.
Okay, this
It's
is
the average of 5.
This is the highest paid position according to John Talty. He talked to coaches.
Is this the average?
The average, yeah. He talked to coaches, NIL collective leaders, athletic directors, media members, and those others of interest that are in the know. That's the 5 groups he talked to.
I'm going to say it's scratching 7 figures. I think it's $850.
It's a wonderful guess. It is $500,000 to $800,000 on average, but the top end, they know of several at $2 million.
Okay.
Well worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's not crazy.
I mean, Carson Beck getting $2 million, worth it.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia is going to make more than $2 million off of what Carson Beck does this year. So I've got no problem with that.
Okay, my takeaway from that quarterback matches just like the NFL is that it is the
And it should.
highest paid position. Your second one was what?
Yeah, and real quick, keep in mind, when I say Georgia's going to make that money back, Georgia's not even paying that money. Like,
that's right.
Some of that with Carson Beck, and I know you didn't say Carson Beck's $2 million. We're just using him as an example. He got that really nice car. I can't remember, was it a Ferrari, Lambo? What was it he got?
Carson Beck?
Yeah, I think he got a Lambo. I think we had a photo of him sitting next to a Lambo. And that's somebody else paying that. Like, Georgia's not saying, hey, we got to make the monthly payment on Carson's Lambo.
For now, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, that's somebody else doing that. So Georgia's actually the big winner there.
I would guess in the NFL it goes quarterback, cornerback, and offensive tackle and receiver. They're all real close to the 3 others. I think you're going to go receiver here is going to be number 2.
My big takeaway was corner was where I was going to go next, because if you got a great passing attack, you need somebody to shut that down, right? The going rate for DBs in Power 4 college football is between $120,000 and $225,000 a year. It is lower than almost every other position other than wide receiver.
Yeah, in college, I would actually guess
receivers
next.
Receivers,
I was going to say receiver would be right behind quarterback in college.
But it's not. Receivers, $75,000 to $300,000.
Wow.
Yeah, so the 2 next highest positions in the NFL have not translated over. And what's out of whack is running back. Running back in college, $200,000 to $300,000. That's more than DBs.
Well, I guess because you can get running backs at their prime. You don't have to worry about really the tread.
That's good. That's a good point. That's surprising to me because I have seen college team after college team that's got really good quarterback and 2 or 3 really good receivers absolutely dominate. I mean, you think back to 2020 Alabama, or start with 2019. Heck, even go before that. 2018 Alabama that had all those receivers and Tua Tagovailoa. 2019 LSU, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow. To 2020 Alabama, Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith and Mac Jones. I mean,
yeah, if you've got the right quarterback, to me, it's almost the second most important position. And a couple of examples, and I've brought this up a million times, Alabama has not been the same without having a dominant receiver. They haven't won a championship since. You kind of jokingly bringing up Cade Klubnik because our new intern who started today as a Clemson grad. Clemson's demise, really, the quarterback position has not been good since Trevor Lawrence, but they haven't had any dominant receivers since.
When they kicked Alabama's butt out in the national championship game.
Well, Justin Ross destroyed them that day.
Like Michael Urban.
Yeah.
They had a series, 3 receivers wide that were just dominated during that run.
Well, Hunter Renfrow owned Alabama for some reason,
Absolutely.
and Justin Ross had a good game that night. Their last really good receiver,
T. Higgins?
I was going to say T. Higgins, but that's been a minute. I mean, T. Higgins has been in the NFL now for 4 years, right?
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, but they had a great run of receivers.
Fantastic run of receivers.
From John Talty, running backs $200,000 to $300,000 on average. Quinshon Judkins, though, way out in front, going to Ohio State. Even Damian Martinez, $400,000 to go to Miami. Wide receiver, $75,000 to $300,000. The trenches in college football. O-line, $350,000 to $500,000. D-line, $250,000 to $600,000. Linebackers, $100,000 to $300,000, and then DBs, $120,000 to $225,000. So, just it's sort of upside down from the way the NFL does it.
Yeah, look, this thing will. Again, we were talking about collectives. You had 3 or 4 on different campuses, and they've kind of mainstreamed and figured that out. I think this market value of these prices will take care of themselves because you look in the NFL, this is completely different. There's not an NFL coach on average. I would think, 70% of the team is making more than the NFL head coach, right?
That's right. Yeah.
But, I mean, that's never going to happen at this level.
Unless this lawsuit continues to push in a different direction. You're exactly right about that. That was just a big takeaway, and I was flipping through some things this morning from John Talty. You can get that whole story at cbssports.com and some quotes from people like Hugh Freeze, the Auburn head coach there. We'll continue to talk college football coming up, but a couple other big things in our opening segment being brought to you by our friends at A+, Brownie. Tell us about A+.
That is A+ Tile Home Remodeling, Jim Dunaway. That's who redid the Brown bathroom, the Brown family bathroom. It is my man Brad Bell. Scott's going to show you some before and afters if you're watching us a video of my master bathroom. He specializes in master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. Now, the reason that's important is you're going to spend a lot of time in those rooms. You get a lot back when you invest in those rooms, and when you go to sell your house, those rooms really pop. Master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closet. That's what Brad specializes in. Now, he'll do anything, but I'm just giving you his specialty. When it came time to do our master bath, and Scott's going to show you some master bedroom closets he's done. Our master bath, my wife scoured the internet, I'm telling you. She talked to contractors, people that had used certain contractors, read reviews. Brad Bell was the guy she picked. I'm glad she did. His crews were on time, which is crazy. I have to say that, but that is so important now. They were courteous. They were clean. They worked their tails off. At the end of every day, the foreman of the crew would bring us in the bathroom and show us everything they had done that day, made sure it met our expectations and standards. Could not be happier. 205-422-1758. That's 205-422-1758. That is my man, Brad Bell, A+ Tile Home Remodeling.
In the chat room over there, we appreciate you guys jumping in early. Someone flew by too quickly, said, did you check out the incoming walk-on for Clemson at wide receiver, Hunter Renfrow? Hunter is still a free agent out there looking for that next NFL gig.
That's crazy because he's been
very productive.
He's been productive for the Raiders.
Oh, he'll find a place.
I would think so.
Just waiting for the right place to pop up. Blake, more on yours in a second. Brody jumps in and says, when does the bubble break, the next TV deal? Now, this will get interesting with TV deals. The bubble could break quickly for the ACC, which is why it could break up because they've got a bad TV deal right now. But when we finish with this lawsuit and maybe we start tapping into the TV money to pay the NIL, to pay the players, then you wonder how big will the TV money get?
But it's puzzling to me the way people complain about NIL. It's an inefficient market, but that's the way any market works. So do you guys remember the first big screen HD TV you bought?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Remember how heavy it was?
Yeah.
You helped me carry it in?
2003, and I forgot the guy's name, and he was a friend of the show way back in the day at Jocks, but it was a Samsung, and it's still in my house. I got to figure out a way to get it out. I hate to admit how much it was.
Well, I mean,
just treat it like it's Graceland. Just leave it there.
Tell me.
It was $4,000.
$4,000.
That was when it was plasma or LCD.
That's right. Yep. So
it was LCD, and it was a 50-inch.
A 50-inch.
I could get, 5 or 6 50-inches now for $4,000?
Yeah, I was going to ask you what you get a 50-inch for. A few $100?
Yeah, probably
$500.
$350.
$350.
How big was yours?
A 50-inch?
Yeah, I think mine was a 50 as well. I think I paid $5,500 because I rented to own.
No, you didn't.
No,
Aaron's
I wouldn't
rent.
be surprised.
I rode through Philadelphia, Mississippi this weekend. They still have a big rent to own. I didn't know they still existed.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure there's a market for it.
It was sucker born every day, man.
It was a rent to own pawn shop casino.
Yeah. So yeah, it depends on which way you're going as to which one you need, right? So that was an inefficient market. Like they were still working through the stuff that breaks on HD TVs and trying. Now they've got them streamlined. You go get that same 50-inch, same exact 50-inch for nothing, basically.
Yeah. First world problem here. My pool TV went out.
Yeah.
But I had Skyview was the brand, and I was just told by my AV guys, and those guys. That you need an outdoor TV. Well, now that thing has gone out, there ain't a chance in hell I'm getting an outdoor TV.
You just go get another TV for a couple $100, and when it dies, it dies.
Yeah, and I'll have a cover, but I'll take it off whenever I can when I know bad weather's coming, and I'll just put it on and off the rock wall.
But you know what? If it dies, you go get another one for a couple $100. You don't spend several thousand. But that's my point. That's where we are in NIL. We're still in the first days of the HD TV. And everybody's like, oh, God, yeah, I'll go pay $5,000 for something I've never had. You let the markets become efficient, and it will settle out. These numbers will not continue.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Unless the other numbers, which is the school revenue, goes up.
I hope the boosters get a little relief in the fans, but the boosters are having to pay the bill right now, right? They're getting tapped on all the time.
But they already were. Yeah. They already were. It's just legal now.
Speaking of boosters, tonight I'll be at the Tide Tour NIL event here in town at the the Haven downtown. Looking forward to hanging out with Kalen DeBoer and Nate Oates. It'll be fun to see what they're talking about.
Yeah, they
tonight.
don't rely on you to drive up the contributions, do they?
Well, they've slotted me 15 minutes at the end. I don't know if that's that old the thing we used to do when we did charity events.
Or live auction.
All right now,
Guys,
if you'll just raise your paddle,
Yes.
for $5,000.
saw-
Anybody want to donate $5,000?
You guys saw Gravedigger last year. How would you like to see that for years to come?
You saw Michigan celebrating that national
That's right.
championship.
Yeah, that does not have to happen in this state, guys.
Just raise your paddle.
Yeah.
$5,000.
All of us together, we can end Big Ten national championships with your donation.
What if it's $4,000? If I said $4,000, could I get $4,000? $3,000?
Brody wants to know, is this going to be national headline? Last time you did one of these, it was national headlines.
Boy, I hope
It was
not.
2 years ago.
I hope not.
I mean, absolute, like Dunaway was on game day. You were everywhere. That shot just
And we
looked at-
still see the shot every now and then.
every now and then it comes out.
We're better socks tonight.
Yeah, I was. I don't even know what I'm wearing tonight. I joked
Better
about
than what you
You
got
don't
on
think
right
Maggie's
now.
laying it out for you right now?
She's out of town. She's back at Duke. Class has started, and she's back at Duke. You know, my sophomore wife.
So Tua
Soon
takes
to be
classes
junior in
online, and your wife's got to go to Durham to do it.
If only she was a D1 athlete, she wouldn't have to go to class. I don't know what I'm wearing tonight. I hinted in the text thread.
Wear your
that-
fedora, please.
I'm not
Can we
wearing the
vote?
fedora. No,
Let's do a poll question. If we get less than 90%, you don't have to.
I hinted a Yay Alabama hoodie and maybe some nice crimson dunks if they want to just walk through the basketball office and bring those for me to wear. I'd be glad to wear those.
Final Four
Hey,
program. They got them sitting everywhere.
I don't know if you guys are willing to. I'm willing to wipe his bracket challenge if he wears a fedora all night tonight.
Oh yeah. You don't have to do the shooting. Now we've got to have video and all.
Oh, EG's going to be there with him. Dunaway anyway. I mean, that's an easy out.
No, I'm not wearing a fedora to this thing. They're expecting a little bit of professionalism.
Yeah, you can't outshine the coach.
Yeah,
That's right.
Wait, how can I mean, didn't Bear Bryant used to wear it? It was just a tacky,
houndstooth
really
hat.
tacky fedora.
Yeah, it was a houndstooth hat. You're giving homage to Coach Bryant.
Or wear that. Either
Bryant's
or,
hat.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you could say it's going. Houndstooth is back. Yes.
No pressure, Kaylin. Or I could have one of those flip. You know, it's the houndstooth on the front, spin it around. It's the straw hat on the back. It works both ways.
Yeah.
Or
I bet we
better,
could sell 1 million of those.
you could
Put
pimp,
that in a store, Lunsford.
pimp our friends from Budweiser and have a couple of Bud Lights on that hat where you had the straws in your mouth.
The hard hat with the straws that come down.
Yeah, looking forward to that event tonight. I will be in some Yay Alabama gear, golf shirt. I'm hoping for the evening tonight. But when we talk football and we talk Colorado football, Deion Sanders pops up quickly. They have done something again this year. They have sold out of season tickets for the second straight year. It seems like it was going down, the excitement.
Yeah.
Not for the Colorado fan. For the first time since 1996, Colorado sells out their season ticket. 1996 ended 10 years of season ticket allotment sellouts.
Yeah, I don't think I'm surprised at this. Look, it was a really bad product late in the game last year for Deion. But they were the talk of college football to begin the 2023 season. I'm looking at their home schedule right now.
It's a good home schedule for the conference there, and they've got North Dakota State, which, by the way, that's going to be an excellent football game, I think. Baylor, K-State, Cincinnati, Utah, and Oklahoma State. That's a good home schedule.
Yeah, I mean, because Kansas State, Utah, Oklahoma State, all three of those could easily win this Big 12.
That's right, and it's different teams. You know, you've been Pac-12. This is all new teams to their fan base. So in a sense, I'm not totally surprised they've sold out season tickets with Prime there and with a whole new slate of teams coming in. That's pretty good. I mean, they've got a good schedule, actually. They don't play. I mean, the worst team they play, the absolute worst team they play is North Dakota State. That's a hard team. I mean, they're barely a touchdown favorite in that game.
Yeah, it could quickly fall apart if they were to lose that game, though, because then they go on the road. I just got a feeling Nebraska wins that game in Lincoln.
Yeah.
I do too.
I would agree with you at Colorado State.
That was a great game
Great game last year.
There's the Colorado schedule on your
Yeah.
screen. If you're watching us on our video platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Nicholas in the chat room. Does Colorado have a winning season this year? Make the prediction now.
They do not.
No.
They'll be lucky to win 3 or 4.
Yeah, I called 2-10. It was my first bold prediction of the 2024 season, if that's even bold.
I actually think they're going to beat North Dakota State only because everybody's going to talk about how North Dakota State's going to come in and win that game. And it's just the way football works. They'll beat North Dakota State, but then I think the losing begins the very next week.
Yeah, probably. I mean, Shadur is too good to lose to North Dakota State, right?
I would think so. And I just don't know. I mean, North Dakota State's one of those teams I always. And there they are in December. They're 12-0. I don't know what they've got coming back this year, but I do know the odds makers only made it a 7-point game.
4-year starting quarterback.
Yeah.
One more big thing in the opening segment right after Brownie tells us about our friends at Johnston RV Center. Great time to get something new to go see America.
Boy, it is. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. They have repriced both of those lots. They are so confident they got the best pricing anywhere in America. They will beat any price you bring them on a comparable RV. That is a nationwide guarantee on a comparable RV. Listen, Memorial Day is coming up Monday, and it's a time to stop and say thank you to those who have paid the ultimate price. They do that at Johnston RV for all those that have served in uniform, either retired military, the veterans, or active duty military. You get a great discount. It is a very, very, very small way to say thank you. They do it there. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Memorial Day's Monday?
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah. It's a pretty early Memorial Day.
Well,
Yeah.
you got to do it the last weekend of May, and
That's right.
because you've got kind of a split next weekend, or you have a split, they've got to do it this weekend.
Yeah.
So we've had it a few times this early, but
Yeah.
we're off Monday.
It is a very early Memorial Day.
Official start to summer for me. I mean, all the great reasons we honor Memorial Day, but official start to summer.
I was actually having that discussion with my kids last night, but especially my youngest, my 10-year-old, because she was talking about going to my mom and dad's pool on Memorial Day, and I used it as a teaching moment to remind her why we actually have Memorial Day. And to her credit, she knew, that's where we stop and remember the men and women that died. And I think sometimes that gets lost on Memorial Day,
right?
And it really should not. Without Memorial Day, we ain't going to the beach and the pool and lakes and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're right.
We're speaking German or Japanese or something.
I try to slide in a good war movie on Memorial Day.
What's on the docket, you think?
I don't know. 2 years ago, I know I watched Saving Private Ryan for the 50th time.
Hard to beat.
So my little guy's never seen Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a great one.
Yeah, it's a fantastic movie.
Yep.
A lot of good war movies to choose
But
from.
Memorial Day used to signify, and this was such an easy school calendar. We've said this before. We would get out Memorial Day, and we would start back after Labor Day. And I just don't know why schools just don't go by that model.
Daniel says 1917. Has he seen that one?
1917, he is not. I don't know how into that he would be. Full Metal Jacket, he has seen. 1917 was great.
1917 was very good, and I enjoyed watching it in the theater just because of the way it was shot.
The Netflix All Quiet on the Western Front.
Oh, it's incredible.
It's subtitled, but it is really. It's long, but it's really good.
Has he ever watched Band of Brothers?
He has not.
I would highly recommend that.
Tropic
You've
Thunder?
watched it, right?
Oh,
You've seen Band of Brothers.
Deer Hunter?
And the Pacific.
Yeah.
He has not seen Deer Hunter.
Ooh.
Yeah, Deer Hunter's it's great. A little dark, right?
Oh,
Of course, I watched a movie last night and it's only the second time I've ever seen it. Cormac McCarthy, who did No Country for Old Men, and he's viewed as one of the great American authors.
The Road?
I watched The Road last night with Viggo Mortensen, and
It's a happy movie. It's a
man,
good father-son movie.
It's the end of times. They never explain what happens in this apocalypse, but it's just a dad with his son trying to get his son to a better life. And they're starving, and it's real bleak. They talk about the trees are all going to be gone. So trees are falling nonstop. There's earthquakes. There's fire.
That's like your backyard.
And there is nothing but cannibals out there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
I don't like to watch some of the stuff you watch.
Oh, I know that.
It's dark stuff.
I watched the first episode of Bridgerton last night.
You brought up the Deer Hunter.
It's why I'm a romantic comedy guy. I only watch the rom-coms that always end with a happy
Oh, you've
story.
got to watch Ashley Madison. We talked about it.
Everybody I've heard says it's
I'm
really
almost
good.
done.
Okay.
Have you liked it?
Yeah, I mean
there's a lot of twists and turns,
yeah,
right?
I'm 20 minutes left in the last episode.
Does it have a happy end? Oh, wait a second.
Wow.
Does it end well?
Yeah.
I mean, depending on who you are.
Not if you're on that list.
Yeah, what you want.
I bet there were some ladies that walked away with a nice settlement.
I bet so too. Baseball today out in Hoover. 4 games going on. Get tickets. Head out there and enjoy the baseball. At the SEC tournament today, I've written down the games somewhere, Brownie.
Alabama, South Carolina, Jim.
Oh, here they are. Georgia LSU starts us off, I
Yep.
think, right? Is that right?
Jim, you wrote them down.
9:30, Georgia and LSU. Alabama, South Carolina is the afternoon ender. And then 4:30, Florida and Vandy. Mississippi State and Ole Miss in the night.
Did they ever play?
They do. They're big rivals. Does that mean Mincy's in town at some point?
He's in town.
Yeah.
Yep, he's doing his show. Started doing his show, I think, yesterday. He's doing it through Thursday, and he should be in studio with us tomorrow. Right,
Rockstar,
Brad?
we're going to get Mincy in studio tomorrow. So
I was like, they like my voice.
Did you guys see Mincy's composite picture from Ole Miss?
I did. It is fantastic. Yeah.
When I saw Dan Wetzel was on the show yesterday, that composite picture we have of Wetzel. Yeah. Like if you were like, Wetzel's Mincy's uncle, I'd be like, okay, I can see that.
We're at Team 36 in our 40 and 40 countdown, brought to you by our friends at MyBookie. We'll get to that team, unveil that team a little bit later on. When we come back, could I interest you in somebody who could run a 4.0940? Would that interest you?
I'm in. I want to see it.
What does this animal look like?
4.0940. We go back in time to one of the fastest guys ever to play the game. When we come back on TNR, the show being brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill. Heating, cooling, plumbing, they got it all.
Yeah, make sure that unit ready to keep up with this changing weather. It's going to be in the high 80s all week long. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys today, 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late-night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
You never know what we're up to here at The Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow The Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunsford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
When on YouTube, you constantly hear requests to please like and subscribe. Well, here at Disrupt Media, we aren't going to play that game. Those demands are frankly outdated. So we just want you to hit like or subscribe. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. Pick a path, hit like, or hit subscribe. It's your call. We don't care which, just pick one. Or go to Roll Tide Pods and do it. Or War Damn Pods. Or the Disrupt Media YouTube channel. Or The Meltdown. Just make a decision and stick with it. Like or subscribe, the choice is yours.
Back with you on The Next Round as we roll on today. Clay Travis with us, the top of hour number 2. The 4.0940 in just a second. First, thank you to your daughter.
My daughter, yeah. This is young Hallie.
She gave me a Mike Allstott trading card.
It's the most random thing. She came home yesterday. She said, close your eyes. I got something for you. And I closed my eyes, and she hands me a Ziploc bag full of trading cards. I was like, what in the world is this? She goes, my teacher's husband, who's a member of our audience, loves the show, came and brought gifts to the class. And this was he said, give these to your dad.
Wow.
And there's just a stack of trading cards. And she's like, who's everybody's favorite team up there? So we went through the stack she had and separated out everybody's favorite team. So I brought Lance a Mookie Betts and a Cooper Kupp.
And I just took them to my desk.
A Mookie Betts and a Cooper Kupp. She literally...
Yeah, Cam Reddish and Rui Hachimura.
They were your Lakers.
Those will get put in the drawer, but the Cooper Kupp and the Mookie Betts will stay on the desk.
She knew it with Mookie Betts. She goes, that's Lance's favorite team. And then the Cooper Kupp, I was like, that is too. And that's his favorite
that Cooper
player.
Kupp she gave me is the rookie Cooper Kupp.
It's going to be worth millions, isn't it?
It's worth $73 right now.
All right, cool.
Oh, wow. I'm kidding.
And I dug through, and there's a Mike Allstott. So I said,
right
that's
here.
Mr. Jim's favorite team,
That's
the
right.
Buccaneers. Scott got the 3 cards of the same player, and Scott said it's the only good White Sox. So, Luis Robert, is that right, Scott?
Luis Robert.
You got 3 of them now, don't you? Yeah.
The only man on the team.
Who will he be traded to in a couple of days?
No telling. Probably the Dodgers.
Probably the Dodgers.
I brought Rockstar 2 Detroit Pistons.
I got my 2 favorites, James Wiseman and Jalen Duren.
And I told Lunsford, I said I couldn't find any Predators. There were no Predators in the stack. Nashville Predators. There were no Nashville Predators in the stack.
There might have been some
Predators.
Predators
You never know.
in the stack.
And I said, and you bounce around so. I said, you bounce around so much on your other teams. I had no idea who to bring you. And Lunsford was like, that's fair. And then Tyler, I've never known who Tyler's for. I know he was the Saints every time we played Madden, but he doesn't really have a.
Just go the anime.
Yeah.
Chinese
so there you go.
anime.
So congrats, guys. That's for my youngest daughter.
Storm Restoration Roofing. I know we had some storms again over the weekend. If you were impacted, Greg from Pell City can help you. Gets on that roof. It gives you a free, no-cost roof inspection. It's important after storms. It's important anytime that you just need a health checkup on that roof. It's so important for you. Greg from Pell City will get up there. Greg Nelson. He and his wife own the company. It is locally owned and operated for over 20 years. Number on the screen to call, 205-542-3531. Absolutely the guy to call. Trustworthy, local crews. In fact, son-in-law, boyfriends of daughters, they all run the crews here. So you got a little family blood in every crew that goes out there representing Storm Restoration Roofing. 205-542-3531. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. The best thing I can tell you, jump in our chat room and ask if anybody's ever used Greg from Pell City, and you'll get 5-star reviews because he has worked for many people in our audience, and they all love him, and you will too. Anything with your roof, replacement, storm damage, or just a roof inspection, 205-542-3531. On this day in 1988, Darrell Green ran a 4.0940 in camp. He won the NFL's fastest man 4 times. He won it on this year in 1988. But what I did not know about him, that he ran 1 time and Carl Lewis refused to ever do it again. He beat Carl Lewis in the 100-meter dash. Carl Lewis went on to win multiple gold medals, and Darrell Green beat him, and Carl Lewis refused to race him again.
Yeah, before Deion Sanders, there was a guy, Darrell Green, where he cut off a third of the field. And I'll never forget this. I was in random rural Virginia with the Rebels family on their grandparents' farm watching the wild card game in 1987 with the Rams against the Redskins. And Eric Dickerson, the Rams were having trouble all day moving the football. And Eric Dickerson breaks one up the middle, and he is completely gone. And you guys will give me, Eric Dickerson was fast. He could run. And Darrell Green, you see him come from behind and walks him down from about 20 yards on the angle he had. And it was one of the more amazing things I've ever seen. And that showed me the true speed of Darrell Green. But that guy was incredible.
My favorite Darrell Green story, and I've told it on the show before, so bear with me, but Phil Simms tells it. When Bill Parcells, 2 Lances, they played them twice a year, sometimes 3 times, being in the same division. And Bill Parcells said, I don't care what you see on Darrell Green's side of the field, you do not throw it over there. I don't care what you see. We do not throw to Darrell Green's side of the field. Phil Simms says, that's what Bill Parcells told me. All right, this is a Super Bowl level Giants team. It's not a crap team. And he said, I do not care what you see on Darrell Green's side of the field. You don't throw it there. And he said, sure enough, we're playing one time. I get flushed out of the pocket. I roll to Darrell's side, wide open, dump it down, first down. I'm pumped up going back to the huddle. And he goes, as I'm going back to the huddle, Parcells is on the numbers cussing me out because I threw it to Darrell Green's side of the field. He goes, we got a first down. And he cussed me out because I threw it at Darrell Green.
If you took 100 NFL writers and you were like, give me your all-time 2 cornerbacks, I mean, I would think 95 out of 100 would have Darrell Green, and Deion Sanders. Rod Woodson would be one of those guys people would talk about.
Just strict corners, not DBs.
Corners, yeah.
By the way, Rod Woodson is the guy he beat in 1988 for the fastest man.
Rod Woodson was a complete stud, too. But, I would go Darrell Green and Deion Sanders.
Yeah, I think if you go strictly corners, now if you introduce defensive backs, some safeties.
I think you could throw the football.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah, if you had those guys, yeah.
Troy says Darrell Green still running 4.3s at the age of 40.
No, he was when he was an older guy, he could still get after it. I mean, that guy was a freak of nature, Darrell Green, and not a big guy either. When you talk about what did Darrell Green play at?
Oh, 5'8".
5'8". When you talk about we got to have bigger DBs, Darrell Green's one of the best that's ever played.
Yes, Bob. Mike was there. He was the older brother.
Mike
Rebels.
Oh, okay.
Chris Rebels, yeah. Ended up was a longtime cop. I think he teaches handgun training now. Mike's a bad dude, man. Played at Alabama for a little bit, then played at Sanford.
Yeah, very, very important. Handgun training.
No doubt.
One gets trained on it.
I'd say.
Okay, our 40 and 40 coming up a little bit later on, but NFL conversation rolling right now with the OTAs going on in a lot of places. This is voluntary off-season training programs and some activities, the A part of that, OTA. But some people don't show up for this, like Minnesota's Justin Jefferson. He's not at the OTAs. He is awaiting a new contract, going to make $19.7 million this year in his fifth-year option. 3 times he's been considered the best wide receiver in the game in his 4 seasons.
Well, and I think he is right now when you look at Minnesota and Kevin O'Connell and what they're trying to build there. And, the good news for Justin Jefferson, not only are you viewed as the best wide receiver, but when you take a quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, who still is really green when it comes to reps, there's no way you're going to get rid of the best wide receiver when you want to develop a quarterback. So he's got all the leverage in the world, and he's going to get whatever deal he wants. He will break the bank.
I would say right now he's the most valuable player on that team because you don't know what McCarthy is. If McCarthy develops into a upper-tier quarterback, he becomes the MVP. But right now you got to have Justin Jefferson.
I mean, he becomes, the highest-paid receiver whenever they get this deal worked out. $19.7 million, not bad, but they don't want him to go to free agency, so they'll try to get something worked out. He's holding out early June 4th through the 6th, becomes the mandatory camp that if they don't show up, then they can start getting fined. That'll be the first little camp of the summer. It'll take a while to get used to this. Forrester, can I get a little Ravens camp? This is Derrick Henry walking out yesterday at Ravens camp in a Ravens uniform.
I tell you,
perfect fit.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know you say it takes a while to get used to it, but he looks like a Baltimore Raven.
I think he is going to have an incredible year. I think they are probably the team to beat right now in the AFC. I know that's kind of weird with Kansas City coming off back-to-back Super Bowl championships, but I think they get KC in Week 1 in Arrowhead.
Yeah.
And then a little quarterback conversation. 2 guys who are in camp but are looking for the new contract. First, Trevor Lawrence in camp. He's there working out with Jacksonville. He's awaiting a new deal. And then your quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa, in camp. Adam Schefter reports not close to a new deal.
Yeah,
but Tua is going to work, and he's showing up there. It's the thing to do, I think. I mean, you're not going to get any contact or anything ever in these camps when you're a quarterback. It's the right thing to do in both these guys' situations.
I agree completely. And, specifically with Tua, you've added Odell Beckham Jr., who's going to be your number 3. But, you've got to find some sort of rhythm with him because if you can, having him as your number 3, that can be a tremendous and even better Miami offense. I don't know. I think I know if you're Miami what you do with Tua.
What do you do?
Well, I think you've got to re-sign him. I mean, this is a guy that – and I saw Orlovsky say this last night on Twitter. Every meaningful category over the last 2 years, he's basically led the league in it. And there were 2 questions about him. Can he give you a full season of football? And can he win for you in the postseason? He's answered one of those, and the other one is unanswered right now. But I think anymore in the NFL, if you've got a quarterback that can lead the league in every meaningful category, can play every game, he's answered 2 of the 3 most important questions. You got to re-sign him.
Yeah, and I forgot who the NFL insider, I saw this interview yesterday, but they were talking about the next big quarterback to sign, and he believes it's going to be Jordan Love. But then he said probably Tua, and Dallas probably drags their feet on Dak.
Yeah. Now I want to go to Trevor Lawrence though. Like again, I think
I don't know.
I think it's complicated with him. I mean, what do you do if you're Jacksonville?
I really don't know.
The guy hasn't been terrible, but he hasn't been great either.
I think you got to sign him just like Tua.
You know where they are. They're where I say you never want to be as an NFL team. You never want to have the quarterback that's 10 to 15 because you almost have to re-sign him, but you, in your heart of hearts, you don't think he can lead you to a Super Bowl.
But that could be Tua too.
No, it could be. Yeah. It could be. Now, I will say Tua has led the league in passing, which tells you he's got potential to be more than 10 to 15, right?
Right.
But I think that's where Trevor Lawrence is. I think if you start ranking your NFL quarterbacks, you're going to get to Trevor in the 10 to 15 window. And that's the window where if you're an NFL team, you're like, crap. If we don't re-sign this guy, we got to draft, and there is no guarantee you can draft a guy that's 15 or better.
And that's
but if we do re-sign this guy, I don't know that I'm sold he can get me where I want to go.
You can't really roll the dice on this year sitting back and waiting, because if they dominate this year, then you're going to get completely smoked on what you got to pay these guys.
Yeah, because then he's a free agent.
Right.
This sounds stupid to say, but understand what I'm saying. As an NFL fan, I'd rather my team have quarterback number 30 in the league than quarterback number 15.
So you'd rather be the Las Vegas Raiders?
Yep, because I
than
know
the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I know what I got to do.
Because there's a quarterback going as OTA start in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And if you're not keeping up, it is Gardner Minshew versus Aiden O'Connell.
Right.
One of them or both of them will start games this year for Las Vegas.
And you know what? It's probably going to result in me drafting early enough to get a better quarterback than those guys.
Yeah, that's what sucks, though, man. I mean,
I know it sucks.
You're just flushing a year.
You are, but I mean, sometimes you have to do that in the NFL.
And sadly, you may be flushing a career in Antonio Pierce. This may be the only chance he gets to be the head coach.
Yeah.
You know, he took over as an interim last year. He's retained as the head coach, and now he's got to navigate maybe his only year of being the head coach. They may not give him a chance to, and then he's got a rookie quarterback.
Well, and you
ask Arthur Smith about that.
Yeah.
Who else is pissing their career away right now is Devontae Adams.
Yep.
You know, you're there and you're relying on Minshew or O'Connell to be a guy that's going to get you enough touches.
Yeah. Like I got several friends that are Titans fans, and when they got Ryan Tannehill, they were all excited about it. And I'm like, guys, I've watched him every Sunday he's ever played. Like, you're not getting a quarterback that can win a Super Bowl for you. You guys are excited because it feels like an upgrade right now. And sure enough, Tannehill went in and he played decently early on. But I'm like, this guy is not going to get you to the Super Bowl. You have just signed a guy that's a perennial 10 to 15 quarterback. And those guys don't get you to Super Bowls.
Even in fantasy football, Troy says 13th quarterback taken.
Trevor Lawrence? That's about where I'd have him. Yeah.
I can't believe people are already drafting. I talked to somebody last week, and they were like, we had our rookie protection draft. I don't know what the hell that is.
I mean, those are keeper leagues, right? So you almost have the same calendar as you have with the NFL.
Is it just a reason for guys to get together and drink?
Yeah. Hammer some beers.
I'm coming off 5 days and 7 rounds of golf where it was just 12 guys who just got together to hang out.
Did you throw up at all this weekend?
I did not.
Wow.
I did not. I was on some, this is pictures. What almost gets me every time is the upper right-hand corner.
That's your birdie juice?
That's birdie juice. And it's...
that's moonshine.
That it's from the maker of moonshine, but that's like a
smoky.
It is. It's old smoky, and it's got a one of them's got a caramel flavor.
I love
depending on which group I was in, and one had a peanut butter flavor.
Yeah.
And the peanut butter flavor.
Your group's gotten soft.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
The old school moonshine.
Well, I'm just sitting there, and you see the brown liquor there, and you think to yourself it's going to have a little kick to it, and then you pour it out, and it's 88 degrees, and you're drinking Bud Lights, and then all of a sudden you get a birdie.
The cart girl's calling you a poon.
Yeah.
Drink some real shine.
Yeah, but it was.
So you take a shot every birdie.
Every birdie, and we, it's a bunch of guys on a trip. So we, if on a par 3, if all 4 guys are on the green, we take a shot. If all 4 people in the group par, we take a shot. If anybody birdies, you take a shot.
Y'all are just looking for a reason to take a shot.
If anybody eagles, you take 2 shots. You take a shot for every birdie. So if 2 people in one group birdie.
Did it get messy?
I think the most I had was.
I'm not talking about for you. I'm just talking about for anybody.
We had a guy that didn't drink. That's our driver. I'll say that first. And we had a big bus.
Okay.
That seat 12.
Did y'all do dinner in the house, or did y'all go out to dinner? Was it ever a situation where you're like, Johnny can't go to dinner. He's too big of a mess.
It was always out. I think. I think our Friday at Bent Brook may have been the most shots. I think I had maybe 9 shots that day.
Oh, and then you came back to that. 9 shots?
9 shots that day.
Oh, you played 36 holes, though.
Yeah, 36 holes, 9 shots. So,
But you're not pouring them in a glass. You're doing that where you can just
a
barely
sip.
hit it.
Yeah. We got one buddy, Philip Hunter, who Like you can see that it's a gulp for him. Like he swallows and takes another gulp.
Phillip's a man.
Yeah. And me, on the other hand, I'm like, pass it on.
You were one of those when you would play like Presidents and Assholes or Quarters or whatever, you would take the beer, like you had a can of beer almost all night.
Yeah. Well, you know me.
Yeah.
It's always getting hot. But let's see if I get any of these right. Corporal, who I called Colonel all weekend long.
Oh, wow.
Patty.
These are all people you didn't know.
You know, the Runt is always a funny guy. The Runt.
Didn't you and him get into it one time?
And Henny. Those were
Was
four
the
guys
Runt,
from out of town.
Is he a midget?
He is a smaller dude, yes.
But you two
y'all
got into
call
it
him
one
the
time,
Runt to his face?
Yeah, but he's a smaller dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like Xander Schauffele?
He gets picked on a lot by my buddy Kennedy. Yeah. But they all used to live in the Birmingham area, but now they've moved elsewhere.
How tall is the Runt?
I think he's probably 5'4", 5'5".
Okay.
That's Xander Schauffele.
Yeah, 5'4", 5'5".
Or call him Arakawa.
He's a boring golfer, man. All he does is hit right down the middle every shot.
Yeah.
Nothing spectacular.
Cash his checks.
I said, how do you play golf like this? There's no excitement.
Yeah.
You just hit it right in the middle.
Never have to punch out.
Chip and putt. There's your par, and you go into the next one.
Right.
But is he?
Meanwhile, I'm behind the tree. Ben's got a foot in the lake.
Big fun.
But do you? I mean, risk versus reward. Do you? Like, if you guys are picking sides, do you pick the Runt early because you know what you're getting?
Yeah, we play a game. It's called Wolf, and the Runt gets picked a lot because he's so consistent.
Hey, Wolf.
Is it boring? Is it better
Wolf
than Snake?
is not boring. The problem with Wolf is you could shoot a really good score and get wiped out.
No, yeah.
I mean, it's just the way the game works. Now, some of that could be your fault, but you could have the best score in the group and get wiped out.
So that means you can make a lot of money on the other side,
You
right?
can by shooting a poor score. It just depends on how well you get
I
picked.
guarantee our boy Jimmy Anthony likes Wolf.
I don't know.
For instance, like if I'm a bad golfer and you hit a good shot, but it's my turn to pick, I take you.
That's right.
And then you go on and win the hole for me. I've done nothing, but I picked you. So good teammate. So I won every time until Ross Bridge yesterday. That's the first time I had to pay money all weekend.
Did you ever get sick of playing golf?
No, but I rushed a few shots. No, it was beautiful weather, man. Beautiful weather. Had a great time. Thanks for letting me have a couple of days off.
Oh, you're welcome,
fun.
Jim.
Show being brought to you by Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. I played so much golf and was on the road and drank a lot and didn't gain a pound thanks to our friends at Way to Wellness. I'll knock out a protein bar here pretty soon. Best thing they did for me, though, was keep me alive. With the blood pressure and cholesterol numbers that were going in a bad place for me, they help control that. They'll jumpstart your weight loss. They'll help you get healthier. All you have to do is call Leslie and her board-certified team, and she'll walk you through the process with a free consultation. Absolutely free, no out-of-pocket money to find out what Leslie can do for you. Go to their website to get the details, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's Way to Wellness. There's no contract either, so you can stop anytime if you don't like it for some reason. So no contract, no sign-up fees, and again, that consultation is free. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Weird to see baseball going on in Hoover already. Blue skies, Georgia, and LSU underway at the 9:30 breakfast game, day one of the SEC tournament, single elimination today.
Georgia in the pen in their first inning, so it's going to be a long day for the Dogs.
Single elimination today, so Georgia could be on their way back.
Could be very quickly back to Athens.
That is a good Georgia uniform.
It is.
Though.
I like their uniform, yeah.
Absolutely. Out there at the Hoover Met, you can get that all weekend long. Brings in about $11 million a year to the Hoover economy. So good to have that at least back for this year out there in Hoover. When we come back, we'll do our 40 and 40 team, brought to you by our friends at MyBookie, mybookie.ag. We're all the way up to number 36 already. We've had Houston at 40, James Madison at 39, Virginia Tech at 38, Tulane at 37. Truthfully, I don't think any of the teams I just mentioned, Tulane may be a top 40 team. 36, we may get to a top 40 team when we come back right here. Voted on by you, it is 40, number 36. Do we think they're a top 40 team? We'll let you know when we come back right here on TNR.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
The World Wide Web is a large place. Find all your favorite people and content in the same spot. NextRoundLive.com is full of wonderful tidbits about the show you know and love. Find our gear, listen to your favorite personalities, follow our socials, and enjoy your trip to NextRoundLive.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Back with you on the next round. You said something to me coming back in. Was that for air or not for air? I wasn't listening. I was reading a text from my golfing buddies on the way out of town.
I don't remember what I said, so probably not.
Okay.
What did I say?
I don't know. I thought it was crazy, and we'll get to our 40 and 40 team in just a second. It was crazy. I missed the whole Scheffler arrest and then the reaction and everything that was going on with the PGA Championship. It was really good. Did you talk about how Valhalla ended up being the easiest PGA Championship of all time?
Yeah, we discussed that a little bit because, there's always the debate on, do you want to see U.S. Open where the scores are really bad, or do you want to see this? I want something a little more in between.
Justin Ray Golf here tweets this out. Lowest combined score to par by the field in PGA Championship history. Valhalla minus 214 this year. The next closest is 1995 Riviera plus 40.
Yeah.
Plus 40.
So, and there were people in the chat room yesterday that were saying, they'll never go back to Valhalla. The scores are too low. The PGA of America loves Valhalla. And what a lot of people in the chat room are saying is today's players have passed that course by, and it's probably true. I don't think they can make it tough enough for those guys. But they love that venue. It is not an old venue. They've already had 4 PGA Championships and a Ryder Cup there.
Yeah.
So they
centrally located.
I mean, it's obviously there's some logistical issues. I think we learned that this weekend, that it's maybe not the best logistical place to host it. Like
it's basically the Rose Bowl of golf.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's impossible to get in there. Like I was reading one of the issues that...
Can you imagine if you had that kind of situation where somebody got I mean, terrible situation, but if somebody got run over and killed going into the Rose Bowl, the traffic?
It'd be terrible. I mean,
but it's easy to see how it would happen.
Yeah. But they were saying the best fan parking was 18 miles away.
Yeah.
At the Kentucky Exhibition Center, which I think is coming in right there in town, right?
Where
with
Freedom
Hall
Stadium
is.
and Old Freedom Hall, the State Fair, and all that.
So that's where they were parking people and busing from there. That's a haul, and it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm not a big fan of that venue. Honestly, it just doesn't do it for me. But I'm also not a big fan, and I may be in a minority here, of the U.S. Open venue this year, Pinehurst.
Yeah.
I don't really like the U.S. Opens at Pinehurst.
Our show today being brought to you by our friends at Precision Sports and Orthopedics. We'll get to our 40 in just a second. But if you are, for instance, Drew Sanders, bless his heart, linebacker for the Denver Broncos, blows out an Achilles yesterday in an OTA.
An OTA.
You just never know. Non-contact OTA injury and the season likely done for Drew Sanders after an okay rookie year last year. Precision Sports Medicine will get you back in the game if you happen to blow out an Achilles or anything else. They diagnose you, they treat you, and they help you through rehab as well. Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, the number to call to make an appointment, 205-512-3885, 512-3885, precisionsportsortho.com/2024. They've got everything for you all over central Alabama, from Jasper to Alabaster and all over the Birmingham metro area. They will take care of you. Part of the Brookwood Baptist Health family. Orthopedic care, better together. precisionsportsortho.com/2024. Jump in there with them. If you tweak something, twist something, they'll get you back in the game. Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. 40 and 40 every day. Now, if you're new to the show, it's brought to you by our friends at MyBookie. It is voted on this year by 94. This is a number I think we ended up with. 94 people, most of them viewers and a handful of people up here, to come up with our 40 teams. And as I said, Houston, James Madison, Virginia Tech, and Tulane have been the first 4 we unveil. We're up to number 36 today. Brown tells us about MyBookie, and then Forrester will do the unveil.
MyBookie.ag code next round. You've been there probably. You planned that trip to the casino. Life happens. It gets canceled. An improved online casino. New and improved right there at MyBookie.ag. Progressive jackpots, live dealer action, latest in slots. And you can do it from the comfort of your home. A Las Vegas experience in your living room where you don't even have to wear pants if you don't want to. MyBookie.ag code next round. You get a generous sign-up bonus and a revamped loyalty program, a host of exclusive VIP perks. Use code next round right there at MyBookie.ag. The more you play, the more you win. MyBookie.ag, code next round.
All right, let's do it. Number 36 sliding in here. BYU comes in here. Big year for Kalani Sitake.
Well, you look at Kalani Sitake, year one of the Big 12 was not good. They were 5-7. They were 2-7 in conference, but the 3 years leading up, 29 wins. Problem is this schedule. Now, they got rated by the portal in 2023. He's got a lot of his production coming back this year. Quarterback's kind of an unknown. Is it a JUCO transfer? Jerry Bohannon, you guys remember him from Baylor. Could be him. They're still battling that out right now. But I start to look at this. I think they're going to be underdogs 3 times in the month of September. Woo! And I think there's a chance they could be underdogs in up to 8 games.
So they're a dog at at Wyoming or SMU? Which
SMU.
One? At SMU, K-State, and at Baylor. They're a dog in those 3 games.
I think so.
Yep.
Wow.
And
that
still,
is a tough start.
And still a tricky sequence there of Oklahoma State, UCF, and Utah.
Oh, yeah.
Then Kansas. So a handful of losable games. I don't know if they win more than 6 games.
Yeah, I think they're 6-6. I think we've got them overrated here.
Yeah. So I missed your Tulane thought yesterday. Do you think we have them overrated?
Yes.
I do too. So I don't know if we've nailed anybody in the first 40 to 36
No,
so
we've
far.
undervalued Virginia Tech. We've overvalued BYU and Tulane.
Oh, you undervalue Virginia Tech? You think they're going to have a good year?
Be a top
he likes
25
Virginia
team.
Tech. Yeah.
Okay.
You did miss that. He likes Virginia Tech.
All right.
He thinks the over-win total in Virginia Tech is a safe bet.
One thing to watch with BYU this year, Keanu Hill moves to tight end.
Okay.
He was one of their more productive receivers. He's going to be at tight end where he is projected to be possibly the first tight end off the board in the NFL draft next year, that the change of position is moving him into the position that he projects at next year. NFL quality tight end is what they're saying.
Okay, so you've got an NFL quality tight end. You've got an edge rusher that is coming in. This is a guy that a lot of people wanted, the portal out of Weber State, Jack Kelly. So that was their big pickup in the portal. We'll see what he's able to do. But, this could be – I think Kalani Stocky's a really good coach. And I think it's more about players buying into his system and buying into his culture. So, I'm not going to be surprised if BYU flipped this thing around and won 7 games. But, again, the Big 12 is a lot tougher than most people think.
Yeah, that's our 40 and 40 today, brought to you by our friends at mybookie.ag. You see the logo and the promo code. Tell us about MyBookie.
Yeah, they've got the casino right there. You can get great VIP experience, a great sign-up bonus, and play it right there in the comfort of your own home when you use code NEXTROUND. MyBookie.ag, code NEXTROUND. Bet all the games we talk about, too. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag, code NEXTROUND.
SEC baseball tournament underway. LSU leading Georgia 2-0 as they play in the bottom of the first. Alabama has the next game as they battle South Carolina to wrap up the day session of day 1, single elimination today. Tickets at the gate, or you can go to SEC Sports to get the tickets there, or with our friends at ATIX as you get to the good games all weekend long. They folks at ATIX will take care of you. Basketball tonight, we'll talk a little bit about the Pacers and Celtics later on, but Clay Travis is due up next. Remember, men, as you get a little older, our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama can help you out a little bit. Everything from prostate health to kidney stones and everything in between. You got to stay on top of things medically from your 20s to 30s, 30s to 40s, and so on. 205-930-0920, 930-0920, UrologyCentersAlabama.com. You can make an appointment there. 16 locations throughout the area. It's Urology Centers of Alabama, 205-930-0920, UrologyCentersAlabama.com.
Follow Sean Lunsford on Twitter @JLuntz.
Let's face it, a home is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and our friends at Mortgage Right want to help you build wealth through home ownership. Mortgage Right is all about providing competitive rates, a variety of loan products, and a multitude of resources for a seamless home buying experience. They treat their borrowers like family and are always looking to bring more happy homeowners under their roof. See more by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR today and start living. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the next round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Clay Travis standing by as we get ready to talk to Clay. I will just bring this up in passing. I just don't know how big of a deal it is, but because of the history of what has gone on at Georgia, it becomes a headline. But Sokovie White, their freshman wide receiver, got arrested for going down the wrong way of a one-way at 3:04 a.m. in Athens. It was a $26 bailout to get out of jail after getting arrested for that reckless driving.
I just don't let them drive. Hey, look, we're going to assign you guys a driver. Georgia's a big enough program now. We're going to make you guys big league.
But it's the 18th one of these. But
speed was a factor, I think they said.
Yeah, was it? I thought it was just one way.
I'll look. I think I
way.
saw that they said speed was a factor.
Because at 3:04 a.m., I don't know about you, but if there's an alley that can get me home faster, sometimes I sneak down the alley the wrong way. If it was something like this, it's just because of the tragedy that has happened at Georgia that sometimes these things become bigger in headlines and stories because it's the 18th one since 2023.
Clay Travis is the founder of Outkick, at Clay Travis on Twitter. Fox Sports, he's on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. What is up, Clay? How are you?
Just trying to go down the right side of the road.
I know. I don't know why Dunaway's out driving at 3 in the morning, taking back roads.
I'll tell you why anybody's out driving at 3 in the morning. It's alcoholic girls. That's 100%. Anybody's out.
Yep. Hey, speaking of that angle, have you watched the Ashley Madison documentary?
No, I haven't.
You got to watch it.
I've had the same email address for 15 years, so I think I'm signed up for every illicit account on the planet. I've had a public email address for a long time, and I remember when that story happened. Maybe I'm crazy. I just don't think there's that many attractive women that have trouble meeting men that they need to sleep with. Am I out to lunch?
I think that was the biggest fallacy about that. Yeah, the biggest fallacy about that website was that women needed it, right? The men definitely needed it.
I understand there's lots of men trying to meet attractive women who just want no strings attached sex. I mean, that's every man's dream for most of human history. But I don't think women have ever had that difficulty. So I've always been skeptical that you're going to meet a very high quality woman or even a woman on any of those websites. I think there's a lot of dudes probably pretending to be women. So. Call me crazy. I'd rather meet somebody face to face.
No, that was a fascinating angle, though. On how they got women on there and what was what. So it is one of the interesting curveballs that is thrown in the documentary. Things that I didn't realize, things that were going on behind the scenes at Ashley Madison. But you're right. There's no way a bar works if the bar doesn't have women in it.
No, not at all.
Correct.
And I would tell you,
ladies' night exists.
Right. Yeah. And Clay, there's no shock. Most of my friends were women. I was always in the friends circle with a lot of girls growing up, and they would always joke with me I always hoped I would find someone to kiss later on. They knew that if they were going out, they wanted to, they could kiss anybody they wanted to, and it's just different. So
there is the number one. There's lots of talk now about privilege. A while back, I did the privilege ranking. There is nothing that compares to good-looking women privilege on the planet. Black, white, gay, straight, Asian, Hispanic, whatever you got. You're a good-looking woman. The world exists in a way that does not exist for a lot of the rest.
So true.
Yeah, I didn't want to cut you off. Were you hinting that you showed up on the Ashley Madison list because you had your email address has been out there for so long, or no?
Oh, I don't even know. I think that's a great question. I have no idea. but I just know that
you would know.
Yeah, I think you'd know by now.
Of all people, you would know.
100%. You would have made the headlines.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes you overblow net worth or your importance to human existence, but you catch enough stray bullets. If your name had been on that list, it would have made a headline.
Enough people hate you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably true. I don't even know. I hate having to sign up for anything because I can't remember my passwords for any of the accounts that I actually have. So, I think, how messy that has all been. I remember that headline. I remember that Deadspin, if I remember correctly, went after a lot of people who were ESPN employees, I think, that signed up with their ESPN corporate account, supposedly, which was probably not a very smart move. But I think anybody who signed up with their actual names probably more likely than not, a lot of them fake.
Clay Travis with us, Outkick Fox. He is on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. I want to ask you about this Jaden Rashada lawsuit. We haven't gotten to it yet. I'll just sum it up this way, basically. Rashada is claiming in a lawsuit, and Billy Napier, among others, is named in this lawsuit. On3 reported it this morning. Is claiming in this lawsuit, Clay, that basically Florida convinced him to break his contract of somewhere in the neighborhood of $9 to $10 million with Miami to come to Florida. In fact, provided him the money that he owed back to John Ruiz, the Miami super booster, money he had already received from Miami, and then never got a cent out of Florida. He claims was lied to multiple times, including by Billy Napier, and is basically suing Billy Napier and some Florida boosters and the collective for the $10 million he would have earned at Miami.
So this is going to get a lot of attention because of the NIL connection. But really what's going on here is this is just a basic contract term lawsuit. And unless you read the lawsuit and analyze it and know all the different moving patterns, this is not a particularly complicated story. There are contract lawsuits that happen all the time. And effectively what he's alleging is that he contracted to sell his services to the University of Florida, and that he has not been paid what he's owed under those contracts, and he's suing basically for breach of contract to be paid what he's owed. And these are the kind of contract lawsuits that happen all the time in business and everything else that have nothing to do with NIL. And so I think obviously the mess for Florida is, like the NCAA is still trying to claim that these NIL contracts are impermissible. I also think what it creates is maybe some people at UF are happy about this. Maybe you can argue this is grounds down the line to terminate Billy Napier for violating rules and violating the terms of his contract, depending on what it says, without having to pay the buyout, which I would imagine is probably $15 or $20 million that Billy Napier would be owed. Things have not gone well at Florida. Their schedule is brutal. I mean, that looks like a 5-7, 6-6 at the absolute best year. And then after 3 years, are you looking at that and saying we feel good about the direction the program's going with Billy Napier compared to some of the other program rivals, whether it's Tennessee with Josh Heupel or certainly Kirby Smart with Georgia is on a completely different level. But I think there would be a lot of pressure for Billy Napier to be gone, and there might be a lot of interest in getting rid of him without having to pay out the full terms of the contract. So that's where, to me, it kind of spins forward and becomes more intriguing. It's not only what happens with Jaden Rashada and his lawsuit, but also what happens going forward as it pertains to Billy Napier and whether he might have done something that breached his own contract and would give Florida an opportunity to get out without having to pay the full to be able to fire him for cause as opposed to without cause, which would require them to continue to pay the full amount that they owed him.
But, I haven't done a deep dive on this, but from what I've seen, Rashada got, verbal, hey, we're going to give you the $1 million. We're going to give you this. But, there's nothing from what I've seen in text.
No signed contract.
Yeah, and if they can't find a smoking gun, it's just, he said, she said, right?
Well, it's complicated then, right? Because then you're arguing there was a contract, but if both sides didn't sign the contract, was there any kind of meeting of the minds? Was there an agreement here? and that becomes a very difficult argument to make, to say nothing of Jaden Rashada and his future. I mean, if I'm remembering correctly, you guys correct me if I'm missing anything here, he initially, as you said, committed to Miami. He then left Miami, committed to Florida. Before he enrolled at Florida, he left and went to Arizona State, and now he's back at Georgia. He's effectively been connected to 4 programs in 1 year. And he may be a supremely talented player, time will tell. But at some point, if I'm advising him, I'm saying, boy, man, you have burned a lot of bridges here, and now you're filing a lawsuit. Why in the world would I want to be connected to this player at all? You would have to be so good if I'm a head coach for me to even take the risk of being associated with them.
Jacksonville is on the verge of building a new stadium, it looks like. They've got a plan to rework the stadium, that property that hosts the cocktail party and the Jaguars games. Make it the drawings look a little like SoFi of the South. Obviously, Nashville's got a big one coming. Do you think this stadium ever happens in Jacksonville, or do you think they finally one day move that franchise somewhere else?
Well, you're asking questions that have to do with contracts again. I don't know what's actually been signed. Sometimes they announce these plans, and there's actually nothing that forces the commitment of the build. Has the city acted? Has the state legislature acted? Have the Jags signed? Shahid Khan, I think, is the owner of that franchise. Has he signed as the owner binding contract terms for purposes of building of the stadium? I've thought for a long time that the Jags to London makes sense, and obviously I believe Khan owns an English Premier League team. If I'm not mistaken, you guys can look it up, and maybe a stake in one of the stadiums as well associated with that. The value of a franchise in London is probably 4x. Roughly what the value of a franchise in Jacksonville would be. But if you build the stadium and everything surrounding it, which is a major commitment, then that obviously would lock in the Jags for 20 years probably of playing there because of the investment the city and the state would be making. I can speak to Nashville, which has already broken ground on this brand new stadium, which I think is going to be a killer addition to the city. They've already announced that we're going to have WrestleMania soon. I imagine they will be announcing that we're going to have one of the upcoming Super Bowls. I think you'll see Final Fours. I think you'll see college football playoff games. They'll probably make a run at the SEC championship every now and then. I know Atlanta really has got that on lockdown for the meantime. But I would suspect that every major sporting event will be taking place inside of that new stadium. Starting in 2027, I believe, when it's supposed to open up, to say nothing of the monstrous concerts and everything else that they'll be able to have in there without having to worry about the weather for not only when it's hot, whether it's going to rain or not, for instance, on a concert, but also, and probably more significantly, for the ability to have, when it's really cold, all sorts of big weather events taking place there in Nashville.
You can't deny the success of Jim Harbaugh, a guy coached in a Super Bowl, won a national championship, now with the L.A. Chargers. I don't know if you've seen this, but Denzel Perryman, Charger linebacker, was asked about his coach and asked to describe him, and he said he reminds me of Will Ferrell. And they asked
Wow.
which Will Ferrell role, and he said Step Brothers. And I just don't know if I want my head coach reminding people of Will Ferrell from Step Brothers. Again, you can't deny the success, but what is the perception of Harbaugh right now?
I think it's just that he's kind of an eccentric loner in a world that doesn't have a lot of character. He kind of reminds me of sort of the modern day version of Steve Spurrier, and I don't mean it in the terms of their behavior being the exact same, but just in terms of them being such a character and being so much different than everybody else. And I feel like, for whatever you think of Nick Saban, a lot of times whoever the most successful coach is, many other coaches pattern themselves off of him. And Saban's sort of the no-nonsense guy. Back in the day, Spurrier, I would say, you guys probably would agree with me, in the 90s, was the coach that was most iconic in the SEC and it felt like you had a lot more characters also around him because people were more willing to be eccentric characters. And that doesn't happen as much now, I would say, at least in public, as you see with Harbaugh. But when you've been to a Super Bowl and now you've won a national championship at Michigan, their first outright national championship, I believe, since 1948, which doesn't get talked about enough, is I know Michigan won half a title in 97, but to win an outright title without having to share it, they shared that 97 one with Nebraska, is pretty incredible accomplishment. And I think he'll do well with the Chargers because he's got a really good quarterback. And if you've got a really good quarterback in the NFL, I like your chances over time being able to string together a lot of wins.
He is Clay Travis, founder of Outkick. You see him on Fox as well. Clay, thank you very much for the time. Have a great week.
Hey, appreciate you all having me. Thanks a lot.
All right, buddy. Take care. Clay with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.
Show also being brought to you by our friends at HydroLive. We will get one other big thing in this segment off of what Brown brought up to Clay, the Jaden Rashada lawsuit. But tell us about HydroLive.
IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy, it's all under one roof. You can boost your immune system with our friends at HydroLive Therapy. IV therapy treatments packed with nutrients to increase energy, reduce stress and anxiety, boost your immune system, and much more. Make sure you ask about the members' rewards. You basically recoup the IV membership fee in just one visit. HydroLive Therapy is open 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Two great locations, the original in Homewood, 119 in Greystone. For more information on all the incredible services, go to hydrolifetherapy.com. And while you're in one of those locations, make sure you mention the next round, 20% off all your services from our friends at HydroLife Therapy.
Okay, as Brown said, Georgia quarterback Jaden Rashada is suing current Florida head coach Billy Napier, a Florida booster, and this is in federal court. And he's suing for fraud and other allegations over what ended up being a failed $13+ million NIL deal. And according to the lawsuit, Napier said boosters would wire money. John Talty's reporting this, that Napier said boosters would wire $1 million if Rashada signed with Florida on National Signing Day. So that would be what Clay was talking about, a fireable offense without cause with Billy Napier.
Yeah. Well, and to Lance's point, I mean, if you've got that in writing, if you've got a text message, here is a text message from Billy Napier that promised me. Now, I don't have a signed contract, all right? But I was just an impressionable kid, and this Florida football coach is promising me $1 million if I sign with them. I mean, that is a problem for Billy Napier, it seems.
Yeah, I never believed the $13 million. You know, we talked about that in excess. The $1 million is believable. I just don't know if they actually have those texts. I think the more interesting thing is the point that Clay brought up. Most people believe Billy Napier is going to get fired this year. When you look at the schedule, I mean, it's his win total's 4.5. Even if it goes over the 4.5 wins, they go 5-7. He's probably out. And if you're looking for with calls, I mean, this is your key.
It's the first thing I thought of when I saw this today. This is filed in federal court, though. This is not like somebody's leaking this story.
That's right.
But it is a bullet in the chamber for Florida if they do eventually want to get rid of Billy Napier and save on that massive buyout. We discussed how big that buyout is.
Yeah, if A&M would have had this on Jimbo Fisher 2 years ago, he would have been gone a lot sooner.
Yeah, but essentially what Rashada is claiming is, I had a deal in place with Miami for $10 million. And they had already started paying me on it, $150,000 apparently from that John Ruiz guy.
Right.
And Florida came along and said, if you'll come to us, we'll get you $13 million. So I trusted them and I went to them.
And they gave me money to pay that back.
That's right. I was given money by the guy you mentioned.
Hugh Hatchcock?
Yeah, Hathcock. Who was apparently a big booster and automotive guy there.
Hugh Hathcock.
That he paid the $150,000. He gave that to me to give to John Ruiz to get me out of my Miami deal. And he was the one that promised all the big money. And then Billy Napier came back and doubled down on it. And the Gator Collective doubled down on it. Well, Hathcock apparently is no longer part of the booster program. The Gator Collective is out of business, and Billy Napier is the only guy left there.
That's right. And you can always say with the booster, did they really have the right to be acting on Florida's behalf? Well, you know who absolutely does, according to this lawsuit? Billy Napier.
That's right.
If Billy Napier said a booster would wire me $1 million, he absolutely is acting within as a representative of Florida.
And Rashada's side claims the initial deal was if you'll flip from Miami, we'll pay you $13 million, $500,000 up front. And he never got that. And that was when Napier came back and said, we're going to make it $1 million. Just trust me. If you'll come on signing day, we're going to make it $1 million. And he never got a dime. And that's why he went to Arizona State. And his attorneys say he's never really made any NIL money at Arizona State. So Florida basically cost him $10 million that he had at Miami. Now, what you guys are bringing up is how much of this do you have in writing? I don't know. But I also would imagine Florida would prefer this never to get to a court of law. So you probably are looking settlement here.
Yeah.
That's probably, I would guess, and I did not go to law school at Jacksonville State. I was a mass comm major. I would guess that's the end game for Rashada's side is let's just get our pound of flesh here. We'll get maybe a couple million out of them and be done with this. Because Florida does not want to go to – you can't imagine they want this in open court, can you?
No.
The discovery part of that and having to answer questions.
Yeah, that opens everything up.
Yeah, that opens up Napier's phone.
Absolutely, and that's the one thing Florida does not want. I mean, could you imagine this going to court and Billy Napier having to take the stand? What would that look like for a college football
They did post some of these text messages, and the only two that I see posted are one that reads, you already know what we need to do over the next few days, get us the quarterback.
That's right.
Another text sent 3 days later read, we need to lock down Jaden. There is no dollars attached to this at all.
There is not. That's all the claim.
Which is smart.
It's the claim from Rashada's side that $13 million was the agreed upon amount. So I don't know. This is messy, and it's probably never going to see the court of law. But it is two things, probably a little bit of a meal ticket for Jaden Rashada, who's now at Georgia, and another bullet in the chamber for Florida if they need one for Billy Napier.
That's what I wanted to get to was Jaden Rashada not trending at this point to be an NFL quarterback. This is a big payday for him if he ends up not being an NFL quarterback. At one point, highly recruited quarterback who is now at his technically third destination, fourth if you count Miami into this. Played in 3 games last year. Has to get a lot better. Georgia's a great place to get a lot better. Maybe he turns into an NFL quarterback someday and doesn't need this money. But right now it's a pretty good fallback plan. And you also wonder if you're Kirby Smart. And you've just brought this guy in. Now this lawsuit's out there. You're Kirby Smart.
Why would you want to deal with this?
You don't have to put up with this kind of baggage with your recruits.
Well,
you can have anybody you want.
Exactly.
Right? You let Vandergrift go to Kentucky for $600,000.
But I think that shows you the talent level of this kid, doesn't it? If Kirby knew this baggage.
I would assume because, everything that comes with Rashada.
Kirby was not unaware that this baggage existed when he took him.
But did you know, was it history? Did he know that this lawsuit was coming?
There is a line. I don't know if it's the 24/7 article or the On 3 article discussing this. There's a line that says the Rashada family went to Kirby to get his blessing on filing the lawsuit, and he gave them his blessing. So he was not blindsided by this. Now, did he know when he took Rashada on that this was coming? I can't answer that. But according to the reports, he certainly wasn't blindsided by it.
Yeah, Caleb says, let Rashada start the cocktail party this year.
Oh, how great would that be? Yeah. Beck just takes that workload.
And make the game interesting.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah. CBS. Nope, not CBS anymore. Be a big game at that point on ABC or ESPN. All right, so that's the Jaden Rashada lawsuit that's out there now. It's a federal lawsuit. It actually names Florida coach Billy Napier in it. Named in a lawsuit doesn't mean you've been found guilty of anything, though. So keep that in mind for those of you that are saying, "Hey, if you're in an investigation or something like that, the SEC they frown on you coaching usually." This is just an allegation at this point and part of a lawsuit. Nothing's proven against Billy Napier, so his status as the Florida head coach not in jeopardy right now, just because this lawsuit has been filed. There'd be no league suspension or Florida suspension. Just because this lawsuit's been found. Maybe somewhere down the road it could become a suspension or a fireable offense from Florida. But right now from the league office, nothing that would rise up to Billy Napier having to miss any time or, being prohibited from coaching like we've seen happen with some past NCAA rule violations in the league. When we come back, a lot more college football we'll get to. We still got 4 downs to get to. When we come back, we're talking about Billy Napier. I'm going to paint a scenario how this offseason, after this upcoming 2024 college football season, how next year could be one of the more chaotic coaching carousels that we've seen in recent years. You guys think about the one we had recently. There was one good one year.
Yeah, I can remember.
Crazy.
The coaching carousel?
Yeah. We'll paint a scenario, and it includes Billy Napier, on what it could look like in college football when we come back. The show being brought to you in part by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision today. The great folks at Michelson. You know, when everything else seems to be skyrocketing in price, LT, it's not happening at Michelson.
No, Dr. Jen and Mark Michelson have held pricing steady for the last couple of years for LASIK surgery at Michelson Laser Vision. I'm speaking from experience. Got it done over 2 decades ago. Had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. Got the procedure done. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. 2015 vision, better than 2020. Write the number down, 205-969-8100. Call that, ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. Ask about the pre-inflation pricing. They're going to take care of you. For more information, you can always go online, michelsonlaservision.com.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
If renting is putting a dent in your bank account, here's your sign from the universe that it's time to buy a new home. And who better to help you through the ins and outs of home buying than our friends at Mortgage Right. With Mortgage Right, you don't have to worry about becoming a short notice mortgage expert because they do all the heavy lifting for you. They're trusted mortgage professionals, and they'll help you choose the right mortgage option and stand by your side every step of the way. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to buy before renting runs you dry. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Hang out with The Next Round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out The Next Round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Baseball in Hoover going on. LSU leading Georgia 3-1. Top of the third out there. Alabama's got the next game for the Tide. All of the teams in Hoover this week will be in the NCAA tournament. So no worries.
It's pretty wild to think about.
That does make everything. Well, I mean, I guess teams are playing to host, regionals, right? Super regionals, but it does take a lot of pressure off.
I wonder, Lance, if they even are, because, we've seen it with the NCAA in basketball. They don't pay any attention to the conference tournaments. I wonder how much baseball does.
Really, this is for the fans.
Yeah, your top 4 seeds in Hoover are your top 4 teams in the nation, too. Keep that in mind. Let that sink in. That's pretty wild to think about. That's your top 4 ranked teams in the nation.
Scotty's pulled the bracket.
Here's the bracket. Here's the problem.
All right.
Is the double elimination format. And I think next year we're going to single elimination.
Yeah, they're adding more teams, though, right? And then going single.
It's going to be everybody.
Yeah, everybody's in
single elimination tournament.
Which is so easy with 16.
And the coaches will like that much better.
That's right, because then 16, 8, 4 championship.
That's right.
4 games is the most you're going to play.
That's right.
It's going to be worse for the fans because you pack up and come to wherever the tournament is, Hoover or wherever it goes into the future. And, if you're an LSU fan, if you win today against Georgia like you are right now, you got to, you're going to have to lose twice before you pack up your camper and
got
go
at least
home.
2 more days in Birmingham. Yeah.
That's right. But it is what it is. Baseball is not baseball and football is not like basketball where it's just made for tournaments. It's a little harder with baseball.
No, I do think, though, the fans that travel in, and I like the single elimination so much better. These fans are still traveling to the basketball tournament in Nashville. The thing is, to me, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way, baseball is one of those sports in person. Like, I would rather, if my team is Georgia and they get eliminated, I can still hang out for the weekend and watch baseball and, casually have a really good time.
That's right.
I don't know if I necessarily want to go back to Bridgestone and watch, other teams because I expected my team to win this thing. I don't know how much fans really care if their team wins this. SEC
I think once they get deep in it, you're like, all right, let's go win it.
Yeah.
But if you're an LSU fan today and your team gets bounced, you're going to the NCAA tournament.
To your point, baseball always seems to me, until you get to the playoffs in Major League Baseball, it's an activity you do as a family. It's like going on a picnic. You go, for me, my kids, my whole family doesn't really love sports. When we go to baseball games, we go for the concessions.
Yeah.
To be outside, the music, the mascots, and really the concessions.
Oh.
It's a trip for pretzels, and then it's a trip for hot dogs, and then it's cotton candy. We need the ice cream and a helmet.
It's amazing how many people do that because, my ex-wife Bethany, when I would drag her over to Atlanta for a Dodgers series, after the concessions were taken in after those first 2 or 3 innings, it's basically looking at the watch, ready to get out of there.
I will say now, we went to we were at Dodger Stadium this past summer, Dodger Astros game, and my family was most excited about the Dodger dog. They heard about a Dodger dog, which is not what it used to be. Apparently, I've read.
It's not Farmer John's
Yeah,
anymore.
they've changed their brand, but it's it's a hot dog. But I'm telling you, man, that pitch clock, those games fly by now. It's a far better in-person experience for me as a fan. I thought baseball used to drag a lot. Boy, with the pitch clock, man, those games, I looked up and it was going to the 7th inning. I was like, holy crap.
Oh, man, if you get good weather and cold beer, there's nothing better.
My conversation I want to have about the craziness of college football coaching in just a second. But first, tell us about Hemphill, LT, one more time. And then Forrester's going to show me a Topps trading card that takes me back to the last time I went to a Major League Baseball game. It was with you and Haney.
Okay,
tell us
so
about Hemphill
it
first.
is hot out there. You need to make sure this unit ready to keep up with the changing weather. Trusted name Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys. Hemphill Services. Again, I had to make that phone call over the weekend. Plumbing issue, whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling, they are ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
I don't think I've gone to a Major League Baseball game since I went with you and Haney, and it was the Nationals had Bryce Harper at the time, and we were sitting row 2 behind the dugout.
Remember how uncomfortable we were?
And this was before the netting was put up, and it was all the time. I was scared to death about catching a line drive off the bat because you're close, man.
Yeah. Boy,
you're close. Now
if there's a lefty up there, we were on the third. We were down the third baseline. If there's a lefty up and he's late, woo!
Yeah, I was using one person who was sitting in front of me like an American League. I was an American League umpire. I was using that guy, and I was trying to stay right behind him, just peeking out so I could see.
So you never turned away from the action and had a conversation?
No,
you're taking your life in your own hands. There,
it
felt
was
like
crazy. Well, even with protective netting and stuff. Let me get her name here before you pop it up. Lizzie McGuire.
That's not Lizzie McGuire.
Liz McGuire took a 110 mile per hour shot foul ball from Bo Bichette the other day.
That was Hillary Duff?
Yeah, she was literally a show called Lizzie McGuire.
Yes.
Real person named Lizzie McGuire.
Oh, wow.
Took a 110 mile per hour Bo Bichette foul ball the other day, and Topps has made a limited edition baseball card of her.
Holy hell.
Look at that swelling.
My word.
My God. That reminds me.
Quado from Total Recall.
Bad Boys 4 is about to come out in a couple of weeks. And in Bad Boys 3, the dude that has the motorcycle wreck with no helmet on.
Yeah.
Boy, that's what we used to call a knot back in the day.
She stayed at the game, and they said they produced exactly 110 copies of the card to match the 110 velo off the bat. And they gave them all to Lizzie so that Lizzie can give them out, sell them, collector's item from Topps, whatever.
Wouldn't you be afraid like your brain was swelling? Like if you're with her, do you not say, look, I know you're tough. I know you want to watch a game. Let's just get you looked at.
Well, let's go to the ER. We'll come back to a game later this summer.
My question would be, at that point, do those people that watch that pimple popper person on YouTube, do they end up walking up to you saying, please, just let me give it one squeeze?
Yeah, just drain it.
Just
Let's
one
drain
squeeze.
Oh, God, that made me shiver.
This is going to give her an excuse to wash her hair finally.
Well, T, I mean, you don't know if that was the medical treatment she endured on the field
Tomorrow's
or in the stands there.
Kind of day.
I mean, she may have had a full soda.
It's like Dave Mustaine back in the day.
With the Nets, how did one get through the goalie and catch her in the forehead?
I don't know. Do you know that, Forrester, at all? Was it a
I do not.
upper deck?
All I've seen is the picture.
Oh, it can't be upper deck. I mean, there's no way.
Oh, there's got to be video of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I saw, was it last night the Tigers pitcher got hit in the hip by a line shot and he couldn't even field the ball. And that's a world-class athlete. I can't imagine.
I give her credit, man.
I do too.
Stayed at the game. Stayed at the game. I just wanted to let you guys see that a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. The hematoma, according to Kevin Morris over there, she's probably got one.
It's gonna leave a mark there. Our friends at the University of Montevallo, great folks there. If you're looking for a place for your son or daughter to go to school, make it Montevallo. Montevallo.edu, Montevallo.edu. Wonderful school, great business school, great athletics, 23 NCAA Division II fully funded scholarship sports, broadcasting school, multi-million-dollar theater department, new building. There you see that new building right there. It's beautiful. Graduate programs, nursing school coming. Apply right now, Montevallo.edu. Montevallo.edu. Get more details for your son or daughter and find out what Montevallo could do for you. All right, here's why I think we could be looking at after 2024 college football, an iconic season in the coaching carousel.
Yeah, I've got the one you referenced from 2021.
Oh, it was 2021. Give me set the table.
All right,
what was 2021?
2021 was unprecedented.
Three top 5, 6 jobs.
Yeah, I mean you started basically with Mario Cristobal going to Miami. Dan Lanning got the Oregon job. But the really, 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 really big ones were Lincoln Riley left Oklahoma right after Bedlam to go to USC. So Oklahoma was open because USC had fired Clay Helton. So USC was open at one point. Oklahoma was open at one point. Ed Orgeron got fired, so LSU was open. They hired Brian Kelly, so Notre Dame was open. So in one coaching cycle, you had Oklahoma, USC, Notre Dame, LSU, and Oregon open.
That's amazing.
I mean, it's.
We had Alabama and Michigan, 2 playoff teams that opened up for different reasons this year.
Yeah, doesn't
the
approach
coaching carousel did not seem as crazy as it could have, right?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you have Florida open too. So add Florida to that list. You had Washington open. That was when Kalen DeBoer got the Washington job,
right,
from Fresno. So you had some significant programs open.
So think about this: Lincoln Riley at USC.
Okay,
not going to get fired. But things aren't going the way Lincoln thought they were going to go at USC, right?
They are not. And Lance, I just always feel like he could potentially go to the NFL. He just seems like a guy that could coach in the NFL.
So that would open up the job.
It would, but boy, he makes good money at USC.
Yeah, I mean, look, they won 10 games or 11 games in year one. He's won 19 games in 2 years. I know it hasn't gone exactly the way he wanted it to, but I don't think it's time to panic.
But not a firing. I was talking about possibly going for
just
the
an
NFL.
Opening. Yeah.
I mean, who is considered, and I know you guys don't think so, but who is considered a great play caller in college right now? Lincoln Riley's one of them. Quarterback developer.
I did the top 5 the other day. We can do this whenever, but I think Lane Kiffin is in the mix. Sarkisian's in the mix.
Sarkisian more than Lane Kiffin, in my opinion.
Great what are you saying?
Lincoln Riley, definitely. I think Kalen DeBoer is one of these guys that's a top 5 guy now that's a head coach and a play caller.
Why don't we ever talk about Sark in the NFL? Because Lincoln Riley To me, Sark's a better play caller.
Well, I mean, Sark has coached in the NFL.
He's been a play caller in the NFL.
He has been. Now, he was fired. That's when Alabama got him off the heap. But he has at least been in the NFL.
Yeah.
If Heupel wins 10 or 11 games this year, I think you start to talk about Heupel as one of the better play calling head coaches.
Flip side of that, what if Heupel wins 6 games this year?
That's a problem.
That is a problem. I don't think he's fired just yet, if that's what you're suggesting.
Yeah, how good is Nico going to be? I don't think anybody knows.
Yeah. I mean, boy, 6 games would be badly underwhelming for them.
I think Ryan Day is one of the better play calling head coaches.
Ryan Day is, but what if Ryan Day is 9-3 this year and misses the playoffs?
Oh, look, if I'm Ryan Day and I get a really good offer from the NFL, if I win 10 or 11 games this year, don't win a national championship, and I continue to catch a bunch of shit, then I would want to get out if I'm Ryan Day.
But easily could be fired if he lost to Michigan again.
Oh, if he loses 3 games, which is a possibility, losing to Michigan, not getting to a college football playoff, I think he's out.
Mario Cristobal, you guys keep talking about this. If they don't meet expectations again this year,
I just don't know how good. I hang on to Cristobal, even if he's 6-6, because nobody. You brought this point up yesterday. Nobody has had success really since Larry Coker.
I asked Lance, who's the last coach that's had success there? It's Larry Coker. So at some point you start to say, is it the program or is it the coach? I mean, we keep hiring coaches we wanted, and none of them really have long-term success there.
9-3 Clemson. Could you see Dabo retire?
I could see him retire. He's not going to get fired, but I could see him retire,
You could see him retire. Kirk Ferentz is near the end.
Yeah, he'll retire soon.
That would be an opening.
Longest tenured coach right now in college football.
James Franklin. I mean, we talk about what Ryan Day hasn't won, but James Franklin had a program that is used to winning. Billy Napier, Deion Sanders could go do something else. Marcus Freeman, if he doesn't meet expectations. Sam Pittman is on the hot seat. We never talk about this one, but Gus Malzahn at UCF. I mean, that program got used to winning a lot of football games. Now he's in a tougher league.
Gus getting fired,
but he's in a tougher league now. But if he rolls out another 7-5,
well, we'll be talking about the Knights pretty soon. I think the transition to going to the Big 12 for the team we previewed today, BYU, for Houston, for UCF, it was a lot.
You know, Gus was 6-7 last year. He's 9-4, 9-5, 6-7, and he was most importantly 3-6 in the Big 12. Now, it was their first year, so I don't know what kind of grace he gets there.
Yeah,
but I will say he's 24-16, 14-10. They expect more than that at UCF right now.
They do.
I think.
And who's not coaching right now? You be the AD at UCF.
Scott Frost. I don't even know what's happened to Scott Frost.
Well, he's out of coaching for 1 year.
I couldn't tell you where he is.
He's not coaching. He took the buyout in Nebraska and didn't have a job last year and hadn't got one this year yet.
He was the hottest coach in America when you had him.
If Scott Frost called you up and says, "Hey, if it doesn't go well, I'm willing to come back if you'll have me,"
I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, now Danny White's now at Knoxville.
That's right, the AD. Yeah, the hired Scott Frost.
But that guy at UCF probably was close to UCF when he was there. I mean, that'd be tough to say no to.
No, I would hire. If it's another 6-7 type year for Gus and Scott Frost wants my job, I would say, Gus, thank you.
You know, Clemson owned the ACC for years. Florida State owned the ACC for years. Big 12's wide open right now.
It is.
Trying to figure out who the alpha is. It was Oklahoma for a while, then it became Texas this year. But UCF, with the right guy in charge, could be the alpha of that conference.
Absolutely. With that recruiting base around there and the support they have for football. And that's just scratching the surface on some of the names out there that could, you don't know what Lane could backfill into one of those jobs.
But
Ole Miss.
You weren't here yesterday. It's an interesting when you consider the landscape of college football right now. We were talking about Eli Drinkwitz, and we're talking about Missouri here. Start doing the jobs you guarantee you can guarantee me he'd leave Missouri.
First off, none in the ACC or the Big 12.
Well, the ACC, he would leave for Clemson or Florida State.
Yeah, there was
the Big 12. We couldn't find one.
After we went down there's probably only 20 jobs you would take in front of Missouri,
and that's the Missouri.
That's the Missouri job.
Yeah, think about it. And 15 of those are 12 or SEC, 11 or 12.
That's why when people start talking about Lane Kiffin taking another job, there aren't many he'll leave Ole Miss for. He's getting paid top 10 money.
Yep.
I mean,
we say Big Ten. There's only a handful of Big Ten jobs that are any good, in my opinion.
I would agree.
4 or 5.
Yeah, I mean, when we were talking about Drinkwitz, we're like, he would absolutely take Ohio State or Michigan and Penn State
and Penn State.
And
USC.
Yeah. And Oregon.
And Oregon.
And Oregon.
And
There's
maybe
5.
Washington.
Maybe Washington, maybe.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't take UCLA. I would not leave Missouri for UCLA.
No. Your coaches can't even live anywhere close to the campus.
I know. I mean, it seems like a broke program.
I think Missouri's a really good job just based on the fact they got to get rid of the rocks in the end zone.
Yeah. They are updating the stadium, but they're keeping the rocks.
There's not a ton of expectation. You can make a ton of money. And obviously, he won 11 games last year, so you can win at a high level.
One more college football note in this segment, and then we'll get to 4 downs in the next one. After LT tells us about our friends at New York Butcher Shop. You know, I've got a gift card that's sitting there. Maggie was gifted this gift card about a year ago for New York Butcher Shop, $300. And it's sitting there on my island right now.
You know what I would do? I'd go get 3 bottles of Camus.
With her out of town.
Yeah. What's she going to know about it?
I'm thinking about getting $300 worth of good steaks and eating well while she's out of town.
So we did that. Maddie's mom was in Saturday, and we grilled out. And I did the iron skillet and then the broil on the steaks. Fantastic. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop. Pick up the finest and certified Angus prime beef steaks, burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, all natural chicken cut to order just for you with a great selection of fine wines and desserts. New York Butcher Shop, one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations, Cabo Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone, New York Butcher Shop. Get in and see Jim and those great guys. Rare quality, well-done service.
The reaction to this last night on social media and yesterday afternoon was, boy, I feel old. I feel old.
I didn't see it till this morning, and I feel old.
Yep. But C.J. Davis, running back, you at Trustful, right, Forrester? Over at Trustful?
Mm-hmm.
C.J. Davis is the son of Carlos Davis. Excuse me, Chris Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. C.J. Davis, son of Chris Davis.
Wait, Chris Davis?
The Chris Davis.
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight, Chris Davis.
That Chris Davis. Like, I felt old. I felt old when Drake Kirkpatrick's kid came to Alabama. I felt old.
It gets worse, LT. Here's Chris Davis with C.J. the third. Extremely blessed to receive an scholarship offer to Auburn yesterday.
He doesn't just have a kid in high school. He's got a kid getting scholarship offers now.
Yeah. CJ is part of the 2028 class, but he's a Trustful running back who's already got an offer from Hugh Freeze down at Auburn to follow in his dad's footsteps, all 109 yards of them. Good line by me. That is...
if you do say so yourself.
Thank you, Tim Brando.
Yes.
That is C.J. Davis with the offer from Auburn.
There's a guy that you guys know, an Auburn guy too, and he was supposed to come out to the house yesterday doing some work, and he sent me a text. I forgot I'm gonna have to come tomorrow because I've got my son's preschool graduation. And he's our age, and I sent back, I was like, this is one of the more comical llines I've ever heard.
He's our age, and he's got a preschool graduation?
Yeah.
It's a late start.
Yeah. One of the guys playing golf with me yesterday afternoon was he was not supposed to play with us on Monday, but he jumped in and filled a spot for both rounds in the afternoon. He goes, yeah, I'm missing a choir, end of the year choir concert for my elementary school person, but I'm going to take the heat for that one. We just finished hole 1, about tee off number 2. Phone's ringing. The wife.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, honey, we're still on the golf course.
Oh.
Nope, not going to make it.
Oh.
Not going to make it.
I'll take the heat. I'll take the heat for that one.
At least he was honest.
Yeah, but the heat came teeing off on number 2.
The heat didn't wait till the turn.
Yeah, it wasn't like it's on 17, you're going to make it? No, we're still on 17. Not going to make it. We're barely off number 1. No, not going to make it. Still on the golf course. Yeah, 17 more holes to go. All right, when we come back, we'll get to our 4 downs today and then another hour, all right, here on the next round. Always brought to you by our friends at MyBookie. Use the promo code and Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
You could win a Cadillac CT5 or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can be a winner too. Come win your share during the Cadillac CT5 and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings April 5th and 6th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older, must be present to win.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemp Hill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the next round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemp Hill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations: Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Okay, LT's got our 4 downs in just a second, and then our mental health minute before we get to the top of the hour. I want to remind you, I got tired of handwriting it every day. I went out and made a little sheet here.
What is that?
This is some of our podcasts I want to keep you updated on. Uncorked, The Pennant Grace, The Meltdown, live every day, 2 o'clock. By the way, The Pennant Grace has a live show coming up Thursday, I think. They're doing their first live show.
Okay.
Coming up Thursday. Uncorked's currently in Europe, and it's going well.
Oh, but I think there's going to be an Uncorked from Europe.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
A couple of them over there.
I know equipment was taken to produce it.
Yeah, and then, of course, Roll Tide and War Damn Pods for you there with the great content.
Oh, and more.
And more.
Yeah, Dr. Brett McCabe and Nick Johnston are going to be joining me. We're going to be putting some pods together this Friday that we will roll out because May is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. You want me to go on and do the minute?
Yeah, go ahead and do the Mental Health Minute.
According to the World Health Organization, about 4% of the world's population experiences depression. This rate increases as you get older. Approximately 280 million people around the world suffer from depression, about 47 million in the U.S., really hit me out of nowhere like a ton of bricks. I know there's a lot of guys that are experiencing anxiety, depression, a lot of stress in your life. Trust me, you can get to a really peaceful point. I'm at that point right now. I've got a really good headspace. I talk to a therapist once a month. I was the guy that reached out, got help from a local doctor. Start the conversation today. You are not alone in this. There is nothing to be embarrassed about. May is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Very important. Just throwing this out there. 988 is the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. If you need to talk to somebody, make that call today, 988. It is brought to you by our friends at Johnston RV.
Yeah, Nick Johnston, as Lance said, will be part of that, and we appreciate Nick jumping on board and getting involved in this. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 indicator. Always online, JohnstonRVCenter.com. They're beating any price nationwide. You just bring them a price on a comparable RV, they will beat it. Johnston RV, I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 indicator. Johnston RVCenter.com.
Joel Klatt letting us know that at some point, could be today or at some point this week, we'll get the full Friday night Big Ten schedule. They're going to play a primetime Big Ten game every Friday night, and this is the week we'll get the full Friday night schedule. Do you think we'll like it or be underwhelmed?
I think we will like it compared to the games we've gotten in the past. Florida Atlantic, Florida International. I think anything you get on Friday night from the Big Ten with the expansion of the Big Ten is going to be better.
Give me a prediction on one Friday night game you guarantee me will be there.
Purdue, Minnesota. Do they play?
Purdue, Minnesota. So you shot very, very.
I shot very low.
You shot very, very.
I gotta see. I gotta see if they play first.
I think Washington or Oregon will host, or even USC will host a home Friday night game that I think will be big.
Yeah, I do think it'll be a West Coast home Friday night game. Let me rephrase it.
I got one for you. Purdue, they do not play. Oregon, Purdue.
Okay, give me the best game. Let me do it this way. Give me the best game you think we'll see on a Friday night.
You're gonna have to let me pull up the whole Big Ten schedule now.
I've got it right here.
You're asking me for a lot.
I think the best game you will see is going to be Penn State at USC.
On a Friday night, huh?
That would be fantastic. Penn
State is at USC Saturday, October 12th. It's on October 12th right now. That would be on the 11th.
Yeah, so Penn State at USC is LT's pick.
You take that, or Nebraska at USC in November.
Yep. Does Wisconsin play at Oregon or Washington?
Wisconsin plays
They play at SC.
Oregon and Camp Randall.
Okay.
They play at the Coliseum.
They do play. You're just determined it's going to be a USC game.
Yeah, look, USC, it's not going to affect the crowd because nobody shows up at the games anyway.
Right.
So, it would be a good television draw because of that market and that product or that brand.
That's my pick, Wisconsin at USC.
I'll tell you something. I don't know that this has come up on the show, but Northwestern does not have a stadium currently.
That's right.
I don't know if you guys have followed this story.
It's a new stadium coming. They're rebuilding it. It's looking fantastic.
It's going to take 2 years, though. So they're playing some games at that
practice facility.
At that practice facility, which is as low budget as it gets. And they're playing the bigger games at Wrigley. They're playing Ohio State at Wrigley Field. My point was going to be, Northwestern doesn't have a home stadium anyway. A Friday night game is not going to hurt the crowd.
That's right.
So you may see some Northwestern games there.
We've seen Friday night game at Northwestern. Duke and Northwestern played on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Brown, give me your prediction of a game.
I'm going to stick with, do I have to do the best one? I was going to say Oregon at Purdue.
Oregon at
in
Purdue.
West Lafayette, yeah.
Okay.
That's a Friday night, Oregon at Purdue.
We'll get that release coming up in a little bit. It's top of the hour, 11 o'clock Central Time, one more hour to go. And we'll do our 4 downs in the next segment coming up as well. Tonight, basketball, we start the Eastern Conference Finals. Pacers and Celtics, 7 o'clock on ESPN. Rudy Gobert in elite company. Can you tell me what Rudy Gobert has that no one else in the NBA has right now?
French citizenship.
Citizenship. No, I think Wembanyama has that.
Oh, does
he vocally says he doesn't watch inside of the NBA.
Rudy Gobert is the only top 15 highest paid player in the NBA still alive in the playoffs. First
oh, my
off,
gosh. Are you serious?
First off, we're overpaying Rudy Gobert.
If he's top 15, he's played that way in the postseason.
3 times Defensive Player of the Year.
$41 million. But look, Steph Curry
overpaid.
out. Embiid out. LeBron out. Jokic out. Bradley Beal out. KD out. Damian out. Greek Freak out. Kawhi out. Paul George out. Jimmy Butler out. Klay Thompson out. There's Rudy. Fred VanVleet, Anthony Davis, all out.
Fred VanVleet making over $40
That is
million.
incredible.
Is that not crazy? Only player left in the top 15 paid players. Thank you, Spot Rack.
I think it's
He does have a sport rack.
Spotrack.
or Spotrack.
Yeah.
You can go a lot of ways there. But thank you for that tweet there. Rudy Gobert, the highest paid guy still playing.
Dude, if Fred VanVleet can make $40 million a year.
That is insane. Congratulations, Brandon Miller, NBA All-Rookie team yesterday.
Not surprising. Could have been your Rookie of the Year if it wasn't for Wemby.
Or Chet.
Yeah, well, you're right. Yeah,
Wemby, Chet, Brandon Miller on that team.
Technically, his first season.
Yeah. All right. Tyler makes a good point, different Tyler, but he says you missed a chance to say that Rudy Gobert's the only person that started COVID.
I can't. Anytime I see him, that's all I can think of about him. Because
too.
I remember we were on radio and we're like, they call it Lou Gehrig's disease. Well, we call this Rudy Gobert's disease. We didn't know what COVID was then.
Yeah.
I mean, we had no clue what it was, and he was touching all the microphones and all that.
He got it quick.
He did, and he was the first athlete to have it. And we're like, is this going to be like Lou Gehrig's disease? Is this one day we're just going to call it Rudy Gobert's disease instead of COVID or whatever it became?
Yeah, thank God we didn't do that.
Oh, thank God.
Champy's Chicken brings you the final hour of the show every day. LT's got our 4 downs coming up. Right now, if I gave you 4 downs at Champy's Chicken, here's what I would go with. I would start off with the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. Fantastic. Start that off as an appetizer. It comes with a little slaw, great slaw there. Then I go 2 big breasts that's cooked to order, brined overnight. It comes out piping hot. It is delicious. Then I would kick in a little side order of the baked beans. And I like his fries there too, but, whatever other side you want to go with. And then he gets some cakes, desserts that are made specifically, and the caramel cake that he gets there is delicious. That'd be my 4 downs at Champy's Chicken today. Highway 119 in Alabaster. Stop by there for lunch or dinner. Say hi to Sterling.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Maybe you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, or TikTok. Well, we're changing the game yet again. Tyler's Telegrams has been developed exclusively for you.
Hi, this is the lovable boy you know as Tyler the Intern. I'm a businessman now. I will come directly to your door and tell you every time a new piece of TNR content drops. For the low, low price of $740,000, you can be notified by me, one of the biggest stars of the next round, about that thing you missed. Sure, the rest of those social media services are free, but so is radio, and we all know how well that's trending.
Tyler's Telegrams is currently operating exclusively in Bibb County. Other social media platforms are available everywhere.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with the TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backroom's go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at the Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Final hour of the show now. LTD&B with you. Taylor handling everything social media when she's not in Europe, where she is right now. A little vacation for little T. Have you guys been following all the pictures and the stickers that she's been putting up?
I wake up to it every morning. She sends it during the day there, which is while I'm asleep. And every morning I wake up and see where her family is putting next round stickers.
Well, we'll see. I mean, if she can get one on Big Ben.
That's right. Then I'll know.
Or just stick one on. What are the guys that stand outside of Buckingham?
I wish she'd
the Royal Guards.
Yeah, they take that seriously, too. You don't mess with those guys.
That would be funny, though, if she just sent a picture of her standing next to a guy who's 6'5" named Ben and put a sticker on him.
That's so Big Ben. So there's a little T if you're watching us putting one on a phone booth.
Every time I see one of those phone booths, and I know those are kind of traditional things that you see when you go to Europe, but it reminds me of speakeasies around the United States.
That's right. You step into one of those and you knock on the door and you walk into a bar behind the wall or something.
Yeah, and you say, Fidello.
Fidello. But little T touring abroad. Oh, look, and Mama Corn involved there, putting one in an alleyway there in Ireland.
Yeah.
On a bike trail, it looks
That's
like.
the team mom, Gina Corn.
Doing good work there.
Yeah, we appreciate what little T does for the family and hope she's enjoying her vacation. Everyone else, Rockstar and Forrester and Tyler and Lunsford and Melton working on another meltdown coming up in just under 3 hours. Emily Grace McWhorter, EG, is over at Nick's Kids, a big Nick's Kids event going on today as they hand out another big check over in Tuscaloosa. I'll be down tonight with the Tide Tour at the Haven in Birmingham, the Alabama Collective, with the coaches, Nate Oates and Kalen DeBoer, as they talk to some of the big Alabama fans and boosters in the Birmingham area. We got 4 downs in a second, but I had another college football thought to get to as we start this final hour of the show, being brought to you by our friends at Champy's Chicken. Told you about them before the top of the hour, but Sterling will take care of you today, lunch or dinner, but tailgate season's not far away, 94 days until football's back, and you get the great tailgate there with Sterling and the crew. Destination lunch, destination dinner, or to-go orders to watch the great events, or maybe you want to cater something at work. Sterling does it all. Champy'sChicken.com, or go by and see him on Highway 119 in Alabaster. I don't know the mindset of Oklahoma fans when it comes to Texas. I've never pictured Oklahoma fans having an inferiority complex when it comes to Texas. Have you?
No.
No, I think some of that's because you don't share a state. I think the inferiority complex comes when you're in the state with a program. So
Oklahoma State does have that.
Yeah, I guarantee you they have it with
Auburn.
Oklahoma.
I know Auburn fans don't want, to say that out loud, but they've got one too.
I mean, there's always been a big brother, little brother. Alabama fans look down at Auburn fans. It's the big brother, little brother thing. So I think that only occurs when you're in state, though. I think that's hard if it's not the same state.
Now, it's not a scientific study. Reddit college football is fantastic if you want to just kill a few hours, but debates happen there, and it's just a handful of Oklahoma fans. I'm sure it's not the majority, but some of them said, it's funny as I look at our schedule compared to the Texas schedule, we're both going into the SEC at the same time. It is amazing to me that our schedule looks so much more difficult than Texas's schedule. And I'm glad you have that look, Brown, because I, too, wanted to take a look at the two schedules. Forrest, if you can.
So Lance is on board.
Oklahoma and Texas. But Oklahoma fans had a thread, if you will, going on Reddit College Football saying, it's funny how our Oklahoma schedule, we're moving into the new league, and ours looks so much more difficult than the Texas schedule. So which one are we going to look at first, guys? You tell me.
I've got Texas right here. I guess Forrester's got it. Is Texas okay with you guys?
In a second.
Okay, I'm fine with Texas.
So tell me Texas.
Okay. You start with Colorado State.
Okay.
Then you got to go to the Big House. That's a real deal.
Yeah.
Then you got UTSA, La Monroe.
Yep.
Mississippi State.
Okay, now here we go.
Now here's the part the conference controls.
That's right. So Mississippi State.
But tell me where these games are, too. That's
that
at home, I know.
Yeah, in Austin.
Okay.
Then you've got Oklahoma, obviously neutral site. Then you've got Georgia in Austin. You go to Nashville to take on Vanderbilt. You've got Florida in Austin. You go to Fayetteville to take on Arkansas. You got Kentucky in Austin. And you go to A&M to take on the Aggies.
Let's do their toughest road trip is going to be
at A&M.
I think it's A&M, yeah.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's toughest road trip.
Well, let's give me the whole Oklahoma schedule then.
All right, well, I'll just do the conference. I'll do the conference part. They host Tennessee. They are at Auburn. Obviously, Texas is a neutral site. They host South Carolina. They are at Ole Miss. They are at Missouri.
It's not even close.
They host
it's
Alabama.
not even close.
They host Alabama. They're at LSU. Yeah, Oklahoma got the tougher end.
No, if Texas had Oklahoma's schedule, I think Texas has 3 losses, and I don't think they're in the college football playoff.
It is a joke. They're both coming into the league at the same time. Forster, make sure you send this out so our Oklahoma people know we're defending them already.
No, they're right on this.
And the Texas people know that we're joining the rest of the world in hating on Texas early on.
That is an A+ schedule from Oklahoma difficulty. And I think Texas is probably a C- D.
Let's do this way. Outside of the Oklahoma-Texas game where they play one another, how many teams does Texas play that you could legitimately see winning the SEC? Georgia. And I think you're done.
That's it.
All
right, now
I'll hold with Georgia.
Now let's do Oklahoma.
You start with Texas. That's a wash.
Yeah, that's a wash. But I
Ole
think
Miss, Missouri, Alabama, LSU.
I would go Alabama, LSU, Ole Miss. Those 3.
You wouldn't go Missouri?
I would not. If Missouri was to win the SEC this year,
that'd be incredible.
But even your fringe games, Tennessee and at Auburn. Are you kidding me?
If you told me Tennessee's playing in Atlanta, I wouldn't be stunned.
Yeah. No, I think
it's a surprising year.
I think better way to sum this up, if you told me Tennessee, Auburn, or Missouri, any of those 3 are in the college football playoff, I could buy it.
Yeah.
And then at Auburn?
I know. It's a tough road trip.
Jordan-Hare Stadium?
That's their first SEC road trip, right?
Let me see it again.
That's at Auburn.
We're both Big 12 schools, right? July 1, we're both coming to the SEC. We're both name brands.
Here's what I can almost guarantee you. Oklahoma will be underdogs in 6 of their 12 games. I can almost guarantee you that.
Now, sometimes that has to do with how good your team is, but Oklahoma's a pretty good little team.
Oh, I think Oklahoma's going to be really good.
Oklahoma's first road trip is Auburn's. Texas is Vanderbilt.
Yeah. I didn't notice this until I saw the thread last night.
I really haven't either.
You Oklahoma fans are exactly right.
Yeah.
You fighting Dusty Dvoraceks are right. Y'all got a bad end of the schedule here.
It's the second most. I think South Carolina is really difficult, but outside of Florida, it's the most difficult schedule in the SEC this year.
Their conference road trips are Nashville, Fayetteville, and College Station.
I think Oklahoma's going to be really good, but I think they go 8-4.
Insanity.
I'm telling you, that finish for Oklahoma is incredible. To go to Missouri, to host Alabama, and then to go to LSU.
I say that. I might pull back. They might be 7-5.
Yeah.
That's an incredible finish for Oklahoma.
Boomer, we're on your side on this.
Hey, and this is only if you go unscathed in the first 3 games with Temple, Houston, and Tulane.
Part of the show today being brought to you by Dr. B, and then we'll get to LT's 4 downs. Dr. B is the person that looked at his hair, saw that his hair was not even like the Texas-Oklahoma schedule, and he wanted to grow it back right in the alleyway, and he's done that.
Yeah, Dr. B, best in the business. Make that phone call that I made years ago to see Dr. B. Schedule the consultation. Tell him the next round sent you. 205-319-0316. That's 205-319-0316. Dr. B also offering that Census transdermal infuser. This enables Dr. B to get various medicines, therapies into the scalp where the hair follicles are without using any injections. This is revolutionary as Dr. B can pinpoint delivery of a patient's genetically specific products without any needles. I'm doing that non-invasive treatment 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time. That is it. My hair has more than doubled in thickness. Brown just went to see Dr. B about a month ago. He has started the treatment as well. If you're starting to thin out a little bit, get preemptive. Make that call today, 205-319-0316 or t3hair.net.
2 things I want to watch in this video before we do the 4 downs.
Okay.
One is just what a nice guy this player who sometimes is perceived not to be a nice guy. He's hated by opposing fans. What a nice guy is to do this. And secondly, the reality of the young lady who's getting asked the question, who she hugs first and who she remembers to hug second.
Okay.
This is Bryce Harper helping out a kid named Jake with a proposal. Promposal. Will you go to prom with me? Bryce freaking Harper goes to the door with a dude to help him out. Watch it.
Hi, Julia.
I'm going to prom.
How's it going? Jake wants to ask you prom, so I thought I'd help him out. If you want to go to prom with him. So will you go to prom with him?
Yes.
Awesome. There you go.
Oh, she hugs Bryce first.
Didn't hug him.
Now watch. Now she's just all on him.
Jake.
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
Jake.
Jake. You get a hug too, Jake.
Hey, here comes Dad. Get the handshake. Yeah. All right. So
does Jake is Jake's the son of Bryce's agent or something?
I don't know. I mean, it appears the girl lives in a nice neighborhood. Judging.
Yeah, just the pavers out front.
Yeah, book by cover there. So Bryce could potentially live in that same neighborhood.
Yeah, could.
I mean, he might be a neighbor.
Yeah. Jake's reaction right there, Rockstar. You nailed it. Go back and freeze it. When she goes to hug Bryce first, Jake gives the reaction to the...
Yeah, like, hey, what the crap?
But
of course.
This is one of those situations where they knew the answer before they asked the question.
I would
right?
hope so, yeah.
But I'm with Jake. I'm like, wait, I'm taking you to prom.
What if she says, I'm going to prom with Bryce Harper?
They both got so dressed up. Like, I'm just going to wear sweats. Is that cool?
Yeah.
I'm just wearing shorts and an Ace Frehley shirt. I don't care.
He's Frehley. I was trying to figure out what it said. So we're doing image rehab now because you were not here yesterday. Bryson DeChambeau had a little image rehab. When he threw did you see the video? He threw the ball to the kid. The guy intercepted it.
Yep.
And he calls him back from like 30 yards away. Tells him, you give that ball to the kid.
Give it to the kid.
Bryce probably going to have to do a lot more than that.
Very good, Bryce. Very good. All right, 4 Downs brought to you by our friends at Slice.
Yeah, 5 great locations. Stop in, see the Bajaya Brothers, the original in Lakeview, Vestavia, Montevallo, Crestline Park, now Edgewood, the corner of Oxmoor and Broadway. Get in, see the Bajaya Brothers, local pizza, local ingredients, from the Bajaya Special, the Soul Pie, the Hot Mama. You're going to absolutely love it. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
First down.
We previewed number 36, the BYU Cougars, today in our 40 and 40. If I asked you more wins in the 2024 season, the BYU Cougars or Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers?
I would go BYU, but I mean, I think it would be tough for the Panthers to get to 6 or 7 wins.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of improvement from a 1-win team.
Yeah, in my head, 4 wins, it seems like, for Carolina. What have they done to make their team better?
Well, I mean, through the draft, you get a guy like Jonathan Brooks out of Texas who, could end up being your offensive rookie of the year. I think he's going to take some pressure off of Bryce.
Coming off of an Achilles injury? Is that right?
Yeah.
Or an ACL?
Yeah.
Which one was it?
I think it was ACL.
ACL, okay. Quicker rehab there.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we'll learn a lot about Bryce this year. I would lean BYU. I don't feel great about either, though.
I know it's the NFL, so you have to be careful doing this, but they open at Saints, then host Chargers.
Yeah.
At Raiders, you start looking at their schedule, and you're like, God, I don't see any wins for them.
It's hard to do in the NFL.
It is
like it
so
is
hard
college.
to do in the NFL.
But I would say, did they help their offensive line at all? Because when I watched the Bryce Young games, I had a hard time watching Bryce comfortably because I felt like he was going to get hit on every play. He was backpedaling and moving out of the pocket because their offensive line was horrible. I'm going to go BYU easily here by at least a 2-game gap.
Second down.
Josh Allen, 28 years old today. Ryan Brown's favorite athlete.
Can't stand him.
Planet Earth. If I asked you, ultimately, the better career, Josh Allen or Russell Wilson?
I mean, Russell Wilson has rings that I don't know that Allen's ever going to get. I mean,
a ring.
Oh, a ring. And played for another one.
Yeah.
Allen hasn't even played for one. And I mean, if I made you bet Josh Allen quarterbacks in a Super Bowl or not, which one would you bet right now?
I would go Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's won an MVP. To me, Russell Wilson, on top of his game, was a top 3 quarterback throughout his career. I think Josh Allen, you can make the argument, is that guy right now. But I think Russell Wilson at his best better than Josh Allen to me.
I would go yes on that too, on Russell Wilson. And on Josh ever getting there, Brown, what have they done to help their wide receiver room?
Well, I mean, they lost Stephon Diggs.
That doesn't help.
That does not help in your wide receiver
Earlier
room.
in the chat, someone was like, Hunter Renfrow would look good in a Bills uniform. He would.
He wouldn't look like Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, he would help you, but I feel like the window may have closed in Buffalo.
And that's what I was asking. I mean, I'll ask that question again. If you had to bet on does he quarterback in a Super Bowl or not, which side would you bet on? You're having to think about it.
I would say no because the AFC is so stacked. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they did draft Keon Coleman, and that
I saw
I don't
his
know if he's going to be
projections.
Stephon Diggs, but
he was in 4 Downs last week. Keon Coleman had a birthday, and we compared who's going to have more receiving yards this year, Keon Coleman with the Bills or Ryan Williams with Alabama his true freshman year. And I think you went Ryan Williams, but I saw the projections today that have Keon Coleman at 810 yards. That would put it pretty close, I would think.
I will tell you this. Right now, Josh Allen is begging for a flag on us just talking bad about him. Yeah. He's laying on the ground begging for a flag.
He's only 28, says Daniel. So, yeah.
Third down.
Mr. T, 72 years old today.
Wow.
Mr. T or Jim Cantore?
The
Better
Weather
career?
Channel guy?
Yeah. I'll go Mr. T. I mean, Mr. T's got a distinctive look. I mean, one way we settle this is if both were walking through the Birmingham airport, Mr. T couldn't move in the Birmingham airport. Jim Cantore, nobody would even notice him.
Now, there was a moment when I think the Weather Channel, when he first became famous.
And he was one of the first bald guys, right?
I don't know, not in history.
Well, not in history, but I'm talking about where people really started to shave down.
Yeah.
They didn't mind being bald on TV.
Which I never understood. If you watch the Ashley Madison Back to That doc, the Noel Biderman guy that was the CEO founder.
Just let it go, man.
Yeah, why not shave your head?
Just let it go. Also, Mr. T had his own cereal. His own
he did, cartoon. And it was a good cereal, too.
But the A-Team was a pretty popular show back then. Did he rise to fame with backyard wrestling? Is that what Mr. T did?
No. That was Kimbo Slice, and it was backyard fighting.
Okay.
Mr. T got his opportunity. He was a bouncer, and then he got his opportunity in was what came first, Rocky III or the A-Team?
I thought the A-Team. No, I thought the A-Team did.
I thought the A-Team did.
At the same time, almost.
No, I remember the A-Team debuted after your Super Bowl.
Yep. A-Team,
the 49ers and Dolphins.
When was Rocky III? Because A-Team was January 1983, to your point.
God, you know, it's amazing that Mr. T in his heyday, when he was first coming on the scene, last time the Dolphins have been in the Super Bowl.
Wow. Rocky III was 1982. I would have bet Rocky III was that A-Team was before Rocky III, but it was not.
He won't. Yeah, he was on Stern. This is years ago. He was on Stern, and Stern kept asking about his mom. He's like, I don't want to talk about my mama. And so he kept asking him this question. Well, about your mom, your relationship with him. I was like, Howard, I'm a rattlesnake. I just done rattled. Howard, I just done rattled.
Why does he not want to talk about his mom?
He won't talk about his mom. So Howard just kept poking at him.
Wow.
Like, I done rattled.
Oh no,
I done rattled.
That's all I need.
I liked the A-Team. I love that show.
Oh yeah, as a kid, I never saw the movie.
Loved it.
Hated it. I mean, in the time when you had Kip and Knight Rider, you needed a better van.
Oh, A-Team was so much better than Knight Rider.
They had a crappy van.
I'd rather have the van
The
than
A-Team van
Kit.
was awesome.
The A-Team van was crappy. They could make it into a tank.
Probably the best looking
really?
van
They did
ever.
Kit was good too, but they're two different goods.
They could make the van into a tank?
Yeah, well, they had to weld stuff on it. I mean, Hannibal and Face and
Face
Mr.
didn't do
T.
anything.
You know, Face just sat around and made jokes, and Murdoch, they would have to
B.A.
weld stuff
Baracus.
on it. B.A. Baracus. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they could convert it into multiple things.
You know,
I didn't watch enough A-Team to know you could make the van better.
Known little fact about the A-Team, and I think this is right. Nobody was ever shot and killed during the.
I've heard that.
No, like this is one of those shows
So
like G.I. Joe.
stupid.
Yeah. It was on network TV. I think
You know, still take somebody out.
The rules are a bit
Y'all's
different.
This Is Us. They take people out, don't
Well,
they?
yeah, but that's much later on.
Fourth down.
Oh, R.I.P. Biggie Smalls, Christopher Wallace would have been 52 today. Isn't that amazing that he's been gone so long? It would have only been 52. But if I asked you ultimately better career, the Notorious B.I.G. or Steve Young, Hall of Fame quarterback?
Oh, Steve Young. Steve Young.
Close.
Steve Young.
I mean, I was going through my head. I couldn't come up with a good comp, and I think Steve Young's a really good comp.
Yeah.
Because he's won an MVP, he's won a Super Bowl, but, you know.
Just one Super Bowl, right? Just one?
Yeah, I think just 94. But the icon that Biggie Smalls is pretty amazing.
They didn't make a Steve Young movie.
They never will.
Yeah.
But Biggie was not in 90210 playing backyard football.
Yeah.
Steve
With
Young
the Walshes.
also had a pretty good ESPN career. I mean, don't forget, he was on ESPN for quite a while after he played. I don't think he's there anymore. I think he's part of their comeback.
And former attorney.
I didn't know that.
And was the first to get stiffed really by the USFL, right?
I mean, he was the top quarterback in the USFL, him or Jim Kelly, right?
He won the championship.
Yeah.
LA Express.
But he and Jim Kelly were the two best quarterbacks at that time in the USFL, right? Warren Moon.
But didn't he sign like $100 million contract and they gave him $1?
No, they gave him more than that.
No, I think so. I think so.
Yeah, I don't remember that part of it.
No, I don't either. I remember the USFL got $1.
Was that 4 downs?
Was that it?
Yeah.
I thought we only did 3 downs.
That was 4.
No, that was
sorry.
4.
My apologies. I lost count.
It's so good it went by so fast. That is 4 Downs, brought to you by our friends at Slice.
Yeah, 5 locations for you. Stop in, see the Bajaya brothers, created by the late Jeff Bajaya. His brothers, Jason and Chris, continue to celebrate his great legacy. Make sure you stop into one of those 5 locations today. Local pizza, local ingredients. It's Slice. USFL was going to pay him $40 million over 43 years.
43 years, huh?
Signed a contract in 1984.
That's why he takes the upfront payment.
Still waiting on that money.
I don't want the Florida Lottery to go out of
old
business.
article. Colin Kaepernick, who will be in the final year of his rookie deal next season, will pull in roughly $974,000 in base salary. Young would have pulled in $1 million. But they reneged on this, and
now you got at least 1 year full paycheck if they won the championship. The $1 comes from the USFL settlement with the NFL.
Okay, he ended up making $4.8 million in the USFL before leaving for the Bucs, but never got his $43
That's
million.
pretty good money, though.
Yeah, pretty good there. Warren Moon, Deadwood, Bobby pointing out never was in USFL.
Well, which one was he in?
Canadian.
Canadian. My apologies.
I didn't realize today, you guys probably know this, but CFL preseason started.
Today?
Yeah, and I heard Rick Neuheisel talking about that you can only have a certain amount of Americans on the roster.
Yeah,
that way for a few years
that,
now.
I never knew that.
I used to watch some CFL back then. I don't watch it as much anymore, but I used to, in June and July, watch a few CFL games. I was always a Calgary Stampeder. That was always my team.
Yep.
They got the SMU logo.
I became a Roughneck. Ottawa Roughneck.
Yeah.
Was my favorite team.
But I used to watch it
Blacks.
some on ESPN. ESPN2 is just kind of, it's summer and nothing else to do.
Yeah. But now we have these spring leagues where the Stallions keep winning, so that takes me all the way to SEC Media Days. Speaking of which, we'll be out in Dallas pretty soon for SEC Media Days, 94 days until week 0. When we come back, it is time for Trash Today. This is the next round. Baseball at the Hoover Met down the street. LSU leading Georgia 5-1 in the top of the 6th. Crimson Tide in action coming up in Game 2 against South Carolina in the day session. 2 more games tonight. You can get out to the Hoover Met all weekend long.
Everything Alabama, all the time. Subscribe and set alerts at Roll Tide Pods on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new Chicken Bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the Bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by, ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of NextRoundLive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
Back with you on the next round. Show being brought to you by our friends at the Inverness Country Club. And after LT tells you about the great place for all you young up and rising couples to become a member of a country club, I'll clean up some more dead wood for you.
We got invited Monday. Lauren Sisler, her husband, John Willard, members out at Inverness. They said they are saving us 2 chairs for Monday to go out to the pool there. So looking forward to that. Trying to figure out what to do.
Wait. I don't think it's you and Lance are the 2 chairs.
Me?
No.
She sent a group text to me and Maddie.
You and Maddie?
Yeah.
So really you're just rubbing it in my face.
I pretty much did drop that. And
you're going to the pool with my friends.
Right.
My friends, Rockstar.
Yeah, they're your friends now. They were my friends first.
That's right.
Okay. No, they didn't invite you.
They didn't, no, clearly.
Guess where I got my second invite tomorrow?
Let's see, who else
Duke's
is my
campus.
friends? yeah. You and Maggie going to see a basketball game?
Meltdown, buddy.
Appearance number 2?
Appearance number 2.
Wow.
Are you doing trivia?
I'm doing trivia. I haven't done trivia with them yet. We just did a deep conversation last time I was on. So I've got a feeling that my trivia is going to be a little bit better than yours.
Probably so, Probably so.
Inverness Country Club. You're trying to figure out what to do this summer. You need to join at Inverness. It is a hidden gem. They've got memberships that fit everyone, from the social membership, including that resort-style pool complex, full-service cabana, bar, live music on Friday night, Sunday brunch, the sports membership, the golf membership, beautiful course, currently expanding that driving range. Maybe you travel for work. Ask about the Heritage Plus option, where you have access to courses at 37 other clubs around the country. Inverness Country Club, great place to meet others in the community. Maybe you've relocated or retired. Inverness, a great place to network, and also childcare, huge plus. Maybe mom works from home. She can work at the club, drop the kid off right there on site. They will keep the kid, take care of that. You can have a date night, maybe go out for a day on the course with the wife. You're going to absolutely love it. Make sure you take a tour today. The best days happen at Inverness. To take a tour, call Aaron. Write the number down, 205-991-8608. That's 205-991-8608, or online, iccalabama.com.
LA Stars never won a championship. So I apologize, Pritch Law, for that.
Well, that was USFL?
Yeah.
Okay.
The LA Express never won a championship.
Yep.
Michigan beat Philadelphia the first year, 24-22. Bobby Hebert, MVP. Then the Philadelphia Stars, who are always good, won in Tampa, beat the Arizona Wranglers. Loved their uniforms. And then the Baltimore Stars beat the Oakland Invaders. So the LA Express never won the championship. I was wrong about that. I thought Steve Young did something really good.
Well, he did. He won a championship in the NFL.
The actual professional
But I think
league.
he did. I thought he did something great in the USFL, but I guess I
Got paid a lot.
misremember. So the LA Express never in the championship there in the old USFL. Stars were always good every year. Lost in a championship and then won 2, and then the league folded. All right, we're ready now for Trash, brought to you by Mortgage Right. Let's hit it, Rockstar.
Okay, so where's your house?
It's next to my neighbor's house.
Hey, where's your neighbor's house?
Ooh, you wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Try me.
Next to my house.
Step out the car, please.
I'm going to jail?
Yep.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
I didn't know they had Scheffler audio there.
Oh, wow, Dunaway. He wasn't
Amazing.
drunk.
I had to reach out to our friend Tanner Allen at Mortgage Right yesterday. I had a little mortgage question for him. It is buying season. Our friends at Mortgage Right here to help. They were veteran founded here in Birmingham, offer loans throughout the country. While the area they serve may have grown, their commitment to Birmingham and veterans has not changed. Before you take the next steps on a new home purchase or refinance, talk with the team at Mortgage Right. Make sure you call today, or you can just go online, mortgageright.com/TNR NMLS 2239, equal housing lender. We start first. People share embarrassing moments they witnessed. These are hard to even read and just imagine being in these situations.
Can I just tell you one thing I saw in a casino the other night?
Was it embarrassing?
Rascal.
Rockstar asked me, did you see a rascal? I said I did, but I've never seen one of these where the guy on the rascal pulls up to a blackjack table, he moves the chair out of the way, and then he positions his rascal, and he hits a button, and the seat rises up to the level he wants it.
Wow.
And he's able to spin around. I was like, now that is 100% comfort and service.
Now, where was he on the table? Was it blackjack, he said?
It was a blackjack. It was on the very end.
Okay, so he was playing third?
I think fifth.
Yeah, if he's on the very end, though, I mean, it's basically third base, right?
He's on the hot corner.
Yeah, I mean, he's the guy that's dictating a lot of pressure on that corner spot.
A lot of pressure on that corner spot.
Okay, here are the embarrassing moments different people have witnessed. Had a guy walk into class in college late. It was auditorium seating. The only open spaces were on the fourth row in the middle. He walks in, sits down, opens his laptop.
Oh, no.
All of the sudden, porn starts blaring.
Yeah, we heard that with the press conference the other day. Who was that? It was Dallas,
Luka.
right? Yeah, Luka.
He couldn't log in fast enough or mute it since he wasn't logged in yet.
Oh, no.
So he slams it shut, puts it in his bag, walks out with it still blaring at full volume.
And drops the class. You don't go back to the class. You drop the class.
You hit the portal.
That's right.
My damn roommate's laptop. I'm sorry, guys.
No, got the wrong one.
Another embarrassing moment. New guy started at work, a couple of us standing around just talking. Lady that also works there and is quite rough around the edges walks by, and the new guy looks at another guy and says, "Damn, I feel bad for her husband." It was her husband he said it to.
Oh, no.
That's such a Jim moment.
But do you say something?
That is a Jim moment.
Do you say something, or you just back off?
If
like,
you're the husband?
Yeah, you don't say, that's my wife, or just like,
trust me, I married her 7 years ago.
We've been together for 30 years now.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Went into an open house. There was this older realtor helping the listing agent. He was excitedly walking around this empty house talking about features while looking back at my husband and I. And he ran headfirst into the chandelier that would be positioned over a dining room table had one been there.
Yep.
It happened so quick, we couldn't even warn him. He got tangled in it, ripped it down as he fell face first to the ground, cutting himself up badly in the process. We both still cringed thinking about it. We saw him out at the supermarket recently and both whispered, "Oh, no."
Chandelier guy.
Because we had one, too, where it's just like you bump your head when the table's moved. Like
I know.
and you just knock the hell out of your head.
I've actually done this before. Like if you get rid of your dining room table for some reason, or you're getting a new one, and we got a new one, and that room was empty for a minute, I walked into the chandelier no less than 2 or 3 times. You're just not used to it not being there.
This is the ultimate Dunaway right here.
Oh, no.
This one's incredible. Coworker of mine received condolence flowers after her father passed away. I had no idea, so I said, "Looks like someone's got a secret admirer."
How about that?
Was that not a Dunaway, though?
Yes.
Special occasion? Happy birthday?
Your old man died, didn't he?
No, my brother.
Intoxicated motorist who was pulled over for driving erratically on an Iowa road provided police with a state ID card that advised the defendant 8 feet tall, according to a criminal complaint. Investigators said that Joel Valita, 33 years old, behind the wheel, 2016 Ford Focus. No way an 8-footer fits in a Ford Focus, right?
Yep.
They said it was, quote, all over the road Sunday as the vehicle traveled. During a police stop, officers charged that Valeta, which you see right there in the yellow jumper, showed several signs of intoxication, had an open can of beer in his car, possessed meth as well. Portable breath test returned an over-the-limit result. When asked for identification, that's when Valeta gave police a Minnesota ID card, and that's where it said the defendant was 8 feet tall. Valeta, actually 5'8", was arrested on several charges, including narcotics possession, operating a vehicle, providing cops with a false ID.
He's got an ID that's 8 feet tall, and he thinks his Ford Focus is an SUV then.
Yeah.
I thought you could go bulletproof.
Leaf blowers back in trash today.
How's
By
your
the
guy
way,
doing?
Dunaway had no idea.
He told me the tree story.
Well, he knew my name.
That doesn't shock me.
And I didn't realize that, but I went over and thanks to Jeff at the house right now, extracting trees. But I went and knocked on the door and talked to him and his wife yesterday. I said,
"Good job, Herb,
getting this all taken care of."
So
I wish. Hey, they offered that, by the way.
Did one hit the fence? Did we do any damage to neighbor's fence?
The couple told me that it did graze the fence. They said it's not a big deal.
Okay.
We were going to get out the survey lot and figure out if one or two of the trees is mine or his. But I just decided to take care of it.
Can I just
really good neighbor? And I did hear that if you don't get a certified letter, this is just FYI for anybody out there.
Okay.
If you've got a tree hanging over somebody's property or somebody's got a tree hanging over your property, send them a certified letter, because if you don't get a certified letter and it falls, it's not your responsibility anymore.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah.
Wow. So, like, if you had not gotten a certified letter, if you wanted to challenge it, you would have not had to pay it.
Yeah, like I could just say, hey, look, trees in your yard, your problem, not mine.
I think
cut that leaf blower off.
I'm just going to make a prediction. I think this incident right here is going to open a door to being a better neighbor and a better friend to your neighbor there. Now that you've gotten to know him, you've gotten to talk to him, you know he knows your name. I think it's only going to get better from here, not worse.
And you're going to be able to see his house a little bit more before trees are down.
And one less tree to have leaves.
That's right.
Yeah.
Fewer leaves in his yard from your trees.
I'd go ahead.
I like the silver linings here.
While they were fixing the fence, I'd go ahead and fix it with a gate.
So you go back and forth?
Where they can come swim.
Yeah.
I can go watch him blow leaves.
And Bullet and Chili can go over there and run the yard.
Oh, I would love to see that.
Don't think they really want that. Anyway, leaf blowers, people just, they can't stand them. I know it's like, it's a necessary evil that you've got to do every now and then.
Gotta have them.
But here's a good idea.
Okay.
Now a team of engineering students at Johns Hopkins University have invented a silencer attachment, which could be on shelves in a few years from Black & Decker. Now, the team's design team ended up taking the form of an attachment that fits over the end, dampens the specific frequencies blasted out by leaf blowers without reducing the force of the air. They compare it to the silencer of a gun or a muffler of a car. Researchers started by analyzing the sounds leaf blowers made and how they make them. Overall noise has come down by about 37%. This means there's still going to be a little noise, but this device will take the edge off of it.
Have y'all ever heard a gun with a silencer on it?
I have, yes.
No. Now, outside of a movie?
Yeah, no.
Does it sound like it does in the movies?
Our buddy Heath sold compressors.
Yeah. I just wonder if it sounds like, when the guy, he's always wearing a glove, holding a gun, and he twists it on and I just wonder, is that the way it sounds?
It is. It's not silent, but it's
silent.
It's almost realistic, like it is in the movie. Yeah.
I've got a battery-powered leaf blower, Lance, and those are much quieter than gas-powered.
Well, imagine if you had that with
a silencer.
Isn't it crazy though that like the leaf blower makes an annoying sound, but like yesterday on the golf course, there was a train just off in the distance.
Yeah.
And that train going by.
That's a peaceful sound.
It was a peaceful sound. It was like the breeze was blowing. It was a sunny day. And then it made a little whistle sound. And you could hear.
Here's one for you. We went to the Black Jacket show they did, Prince in Montgomery, which was incredible. The lady sitting behind us, instead of clapping every single song, she had a whistle. A literal whistle.
Like a referee's whistle?
Yes. And every single song where people clap, she blew that whistle.
That would not get annoying at all.
75 years old.
Yeah.
Every single song.
You think she was...
everybody's just looking at her, and she had it around her neck. And after every song...
When I was a little
Did you turn to her and say, you just stay on that door, or you float on the door, somebody will save you, just blow that whistle?
So Leighton was less than a year old, but we went on a cruise with a couple of other couples, and we went out of New Orleans. I think I told the story. We went to Carlos and Charlie's and Cozumel, and I got a whistle, and that night at dinner, blowing that thing in the dining room.
I bet you were annoying.
Oh, people were pissed.
Oh, I can imagine.
Okay, so we have got a study that gave us the top 50 sexiest accents in the United States. Here are your top 10. California, didn't really know it was an accent.
For sure. California.
For sure.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Dunaway, you do all these for us. Number 9 is St. Louis.
St. Louis, give me their saying. I don't see it on the map.
Here's our arch.
Instead of like 40, it's farty. Instead of corn, it's carn.
Oh, I hate those.
It's almost Irish.
You sound Irish.
I know. Philadelphia.
Oh, my God.
Whoa. Fresh Prince in the house.
Words like fight and bike, some more like foit and bike.
Foyt?
I'm doing Irish again.
Everything's Irish with you.
Yeah. Number 7 accent is Hawaiian.
I need a prompter. I mean, Hawaii doesn't have one up in the
Does Tua have an accent?
Tua's got a little bit of an accent.
Okay.
Yeah, when you listen to him talk, he's got that Islander accent.
This is the only Southern accent on there. Do you guys want to guess what state it is?
I'm going to say Alabama.
Dunaway's going to cheat and look here.
I'm looking on the map. It
looks like Florida.
Looks like the Panhandle of Florida.
Yeah. Well, I guess that is Southern.
Yeah.
But there's also Go Saints. It's actually Mississippi, number 6. Number 5 is Chicago. Number 4 is Maine. Can you give me the Maine accent?
It's I don't like this when they do add R's. Like I'm going to yoga class. I went to a yoga class.
Yeah, I hate that.
I went to Florida. We gotta go to Florida
And they
for the
use
weekend.
wicked to make every adjective sound extra
She
powerful.
was wicked hot.
Number 3 on the list, the New York accent.
Oh, it's terrible.
Number 2, just as bad, the Boston accent.
Even worse.
Park the car.
And number 1 is the Texan accent. I don't mind the Texan accent.
Howdy, big fella.
Okay, that's
good. That's the place I like to visit.
Howdy, big fella.
And finally on Trash today, some interesting gift ideas. We got some pictures with these. Number 1, the DeLorean limo.
Oh, okay.
Don't know what the price point on this is.
It's going to be steep.
I'll tell you what I saw in the neighborhood the other day was one of these cyber trucks. They are the ugliest looking vehicle.
really
I've
are.
ever
I saw
seen.
my first one yesterday.
I think they've struggled to sell them too. I don't think it has sold.
Yeah, they have some issues, but it is an ugly car.
It is. I don't know why you would drive it.
Straight out of RoboCop.
Yep.
It's the one that looks like a DeLorean.
Yeah.
I mean, it
looks like a driving steel box.
Honest to God, it looks like somebody welded it in backwoods Calhoun County, and they're like, "Here you go."
And I think they're like $150,000.
Oh, I'm sure.
Aren't they? Number 2 on this, the bacon blanket.
Wow, it does look like real bacon.
Yep. But at least it'll be limp.
That's crispy bacon right there.
Yeah,
Another interesting gift idea, the ghost pepper toothpaste, $10 a tube.
Oh, but you could really mess somebody up with that.
Well, you could.
Here you go, baby. I already put toothpaste on there for you.
Here you go, baby.
This is kind of cool, but it's only $20, so it must be kind of chintzy. Top music albums the year you were born, the artwork of them.
I have seen this on.
I like this.
I've seen this on TikTok, and you give them the year, and they do that. But the one I saw was like a cylinder, and you use it, I guess, as a decorative piece. I don't know.
Pizza
I
of the
actually
month.
would like
Club.
to have that right there.
Pizza of the month?
Yeah.
Like, what does it send me?
$63. I guess a different pizza.
Problem is, I think it's all deep dish from different places.
Oh,
around
is
the
it?
world.
Well, I get tired of that.
But you know you can get the deep dish shipped to you from Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Some friends were in from
I've
Chicago.
heard it's almost as good.
Yeah. But Pequod's that I reference all the time, I finally remember what it was. 2 locations, but they would actually ship it to us if we want to try it.
I just don't. Pizza of the month just seems like
Luminali's.
I've got pizza all around here.
Well, they also have a peanut butter and jelly of the month.
Yeah, but I know. But like pizza of the month. All right, you got Chicago deep dish. Now give me another like
Detroit
regional,
style.
Detroit style,
New York style.
New York style. There's
But also,
3.
I can give you 10 pizza places around this place, and all of them are different.
I know. That's
like,
what I'm
and
saying.
That one tastes like the other. Some are bad. Some
No,
are
I
good.
tell you what Barstool should have done, because Portnoy did a great job with it, and it's still an interesting watch. But if they sent you a pizza, if they did some kind of club and sent you from one that he's sampling, they could absolutely crush it.
That's right.
I think
Or
people
not.
I think
Or
they
not.
would.
Yeah, or if it's bad,
Like,
they
like
wouldn't.
collectively, everybody hates this.
No, but if they did $63 a month and you got a pie, even if you got one every other week, I think people would sign up for this. And then finally, the men's denim swim shorts.
I think these are awesome. Done away.
$63.
That's a good look. You're not going to like them.
So are we willing to?
Okay, will you wipe a steak off if I pose in those?
No, I'll tell you what I'll do.
Not a steak. This will wipe my bracket challenge off?
Yeah, that's what I said. No, if not pose in them, if you'll wear them for a full week.
That's like his main pant for a week.
Yeah.
Does the sock optional?
And they are
He is
tight.
stuffing, is he not?
Yeah. I mean, we'd have to have the girls stay at home.
I mean, you look like that, right?
I don't think he shaves his
Oh,
chest.
if he did look like that, he would be
I would
wearing
own a
these.
pair, yeah.
He'd be wearing these every
I
day.
own a pair.
Yeah.
I still think you should go with a fedora tonight.
I'm not going fedora tonight.
Do you think anybody would really say anything?
Yeah, you can't make it like it's a joke. That's the payoff. You just got to wear it like it's your actual outfit.
Alan Collins gets away with it. 'Cause
Yeah.
he does it
You
all the
guys
time.
know
he's retired.
I do not turn Alabama athletics into a gimmick for me.
I just remember picking you up one night on your curb. You had a fedora on.
I quickly took it off.
One of the biggest arguments I've seen these two have was when Dunaway was paying off that bet and he had to wear the coonskin hat. And Lance was like, I can't wait to see it on 42 tonight. He's like, oh, I am not wearing it on 42.
No, I did wear it on 42.
I know, but y'all argued at first. Lance was like, no, that was the bet. You have to wear it on CBS 42. And Dunaway's like, I am not wearing a coonskin hat. It's the most absurd
and
thing.
you did, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Murder rate
I
is
remember he was
rising.
itching and sneezing.
Because it was a real one. Somebody sent it to us, didn't
No,
they?
it was a real-life coonskin cap.
Yeah.
It wasn't like something you buy at Cracker Barrel.
Like somebody sent it to us. I'll send Forrester the picture in the commercial break.
Y'all argued about it, and Lance was like, I am not relenting. That was part of the bet. Is you have to wear it on CBS 42.
Bobby says the getting out if bracket punishment thing needs to end. Brown started this mess. Be better than Brown, Jim. Be better than Brown.
Yeah, be better than me, Jim.
Listen,
Bobby would rather see you interviewing Kalen DeBoer in a fedora tonight than you shooting a 3 at freaking the Pete Hanna Center.
Yeah, all I know is that I'm paying mine off the week before SEC Media Days. And we're going to go give it a shot then. And if it doesn't work then, we'll have to reload and do it again another time before football season. That is Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right.
Hey, if you're looking for a new home, our friends at Mortgage Right here to help. Whether you're a first-time buyer or a seasoned home buying veteran, their great service and low rates make the process so easy. So remember, whether you're looking for your final home, first home, whether you have a big down payment or need 100% financing, Mortgage Right, one-stop shop. Visit them online, mortgageright.com, or call 205-900-7200.
We're praying Dunaway stumbles into one of these coaches' kids' camps so Little T can get the video of him in
I think
line.
he's had his own rack of balls.
No,
She's pushing that rack of balls.
He's in line with a bunch of 7-year-olds waiting to fire off his three.
Those red, white, and blue basketballs were dribbling between our legs.
We got to raise the goal for this guy.
Doing a 3-man weave.
Oh, God, I hope so.
7-year-olds.
Blocking out.
Oh, I hope so.
Throw it into me. I'll take the old guy. When we come back, one more thing before you get out of here. Georgia down 6-1 as they're in trouble. A couple more LSU Tigers who are defending national champs, peaking at the right time as they come to Hoover. Game 1, Alabama plays after this, and Hoover SEC tournament continues. Get your tickets right there online with SEC Sports.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
You never know what we're up to here at The Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow The Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunsford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
When on YouTube, you constantly hear requests to please like and subscribe. Well, here at Disrupt Media, we aren't going to play that game. Those demands are frankly outdated. So we just want you to hit like or subscribe. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. Pick a path, hit like, or hit subscribe. It's your call. We don't care which, just pick one. Or go to Roll Tide Pods and do it. Or War Damn Pods. Or the Disrupt Media YouTube channel. Or The Meltdown. Just make a decision and stick with it. Like or subscribe, the choice is yours.
All right, final segment of the show. Did you see the betting odds for the NBA championship? Boston now minus 150 to win it.
But Lance gave me the Eastern Conference yesterday. It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, look, Boston's going to sail through this.
Yeah, but just to win the overall NBA title now, it's Boston minus 150, Minnesota plus 270, Dallas plus 500, and Indiana plus 2,800, which shows you your point on just the Eastern Conference Finals. It's heavy Boston.
Look, if you like offense, you're going to love this Eastern Conference Finals. You got the two top offensive teams in the NBA. I mean, the Pacers had the sixth most points in NBA history. So you're going to get a lot of offense there. But I do think the winner of T-Wolves / Mavericks, the Western Conference Finals, which start up tomorrow night, I think one of those two teams could give Boston a little trouble.
Especially the T-Wolves, who are back after a big Game 7 win, knocking out the defending champs. One more thought on the Atlanta Braves before we leave after LT tells us about Odie's.
Odie's Tavern, tomorrow night will be Team Trivia, the original location at Crestline. But it's always a good time just to stop in and enjoy great food from Rodney Davis, the great burgers, sandwiches like the Diablo sandwich, ice cold buckets full of beer, full of that Bud Light. Tomorrow night is Team Trivia. Every Friday and Saturday's live music. Stop in the original location at Crestline, now one in Edgewood, right there at the corner of Oxmoor and Broadway. Get in and see Will Haver and that great staff, Odie's Tavern.
By the way, Rafael Devers of the Red Sox tied a record with a home run yesterday. 6 straight games he's now homered in. That's a Red Sox record. The Major League record is only 8. So he's got to do it 2 more times, and he's playing the Tampa Bay Rays.
I remember Don Mattingly giving this a run. And Mattingly wasn't a big home run guy, but he got to 6 or 7, I think. Who's got the record?
That's a good question.
I don't know. Probably somebody like Brady Anderson or somebody like that.
I mean, Brady hit a bunch in 1 year.
But 8 is the Major League Baseball record, 8 consecutive games. Rafael Devers likely in the lineup again tonight, Red Sox and Tampa Bay Rays. You Braves fans, with all the dispute going on, you get to see your team tonight. Braves and Cubs in Wrigley, 6:40 on TBS. It's so weird how the Braves are 9 games above 500, but perceived to be underachieving right now. Meanwhile, the Cubs are 2 back of Milwaukee and seem to be overachieving.
But I asked Lance this yesterday. Did you, just in the preseason, did you think there was ever a day you would look up and the Braves are 5 back in their own division?
Nope.
I didn't either.
That's how good the Phillies are playing.
And I know it's just May, so that doesn't matter, but I just did not think it would happen to them this year.
Buster back on the show Thursday, coming up at 10:25 Thursday. Can't wait till Buster returns to talk a little baseball. Baseball continues all weekend. SEC baseball tournament out in Hoover. And we'll jump back into a lot of your college football news again tomorrow. Don't forget the Meltdown later today. Tim Melton, John Lunsford host our daily pop culture podcast live at 2 Central and always on demand. And a new live show Thursday of the Pennant Grace, Emily Grace McWhorter and Josh Sisk. Is that his real name?
It is, yes.
Wherever you get your podcasts, and always at Disrupt the Media on YouTube. Like and subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.